10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Injection, fellas.
C'est ton amour dont j'ai besoin. Ouh, mon cher.
The love I have right next to me is here and always will be. I'm caressing your body emotionally, as you can feel and will see.
Oh, tell me, why can't we go all the way to the top? Oh, that's extreme. The sounds I hear when you're with me express the way that you feel,
In a passionate sex, we move in close. Every bit of love that we share is the same. I can tell when I reach down deep inside. You show it when you call out my name.
Squeezing you tight and holding you close is all I feel inside. Although I try to hold in my love, it's something that I just can't hide.
The music is low, the lights are dim, there we lie. Passion overflows with every look in your eyes. Infatuation, lust, and a lot of love. Sweet caresses, yes, it's good to me as you rub and clench my back. Ecstasy fills the air as you kiss on my neck and stroke the back of my hair. To hold you tonight, I feel this is my duty. To grasp, to hold, to rock that booty.
Whoop that trick. Get him. Whoop that trick. Get him. Whoop that trick.
On shelf. Find it, man. Find it. Speed it up. Speed it up. Hey.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the Wyatt Live 1 p.m. conversation. We're starting out a little bit late. I know why it's slow today because people didn't think I was coming on. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I forgot. I forgot to send the post to say that I would be on today. I've been talking all week, not knowing if I was going to be here on Thursday or not. And I realized, well, just as of yesterday, late yesterday, around 7 or 8 o'clock, I reached out to my daughter who's in Columbus, and the time that we need to be there, there's enough time to leave on Friday morning to get there for what we need. There was no need for me to be there on Thursday. So I decided to stay home and just fly up on Friday morning, plenty of time to make it. I don't have to be in Columbus, Ohio till 4 o'clock. I was able to get a 6:37 flight Friday morning, and then I'll get there. We'll get there in time to be able to, do all the things we need to do. Report to campus by 3 o'clock. The white coat ceremony is at 4. So I said, why not? I'll just stay home. No sense in going up early. I mean, what we're going to do? I'll be spending the weekend there. So going one extra day didn't really make that much sense. There's not much to do in Columbus, Ohio, that I can't do anywhere else. I know over the next 6 years, I'll be in Columbus, Ohio quite a bit, whether it's football games or just up there to check on my baby to make sure everything is good. So I could go without being there on a Thursday. My intentions was to go up to Columbus, Ohio today. I was going to fly up this morning, and when she sent me the itinerary for her white coat ceremony, there was no need for me to be up in Columbus, Ohio on Thursday. So I decided to stay home, finish up a little bit of work I have to do here, and then I'll just go to Columbus, Ohio on Friday morning. Okay, so I can get a lot. I'll be there the whole weekend. Be there the whole weekend, so it's no sense in in going an extra day. I would have just been sitting there bored, probably spending money. Y'all know how it is when you just you shop, you do things. They do. Once we go to a mall, Daddy got to pull out the credit card, and we go to the restaurants. I probably wouldn't go today without, of course, going to some type of lunch, some type of dinner. And then, of course, we got to go to, when you're in Columbus, Ohio, you have to go to Eastern Mall. I can't go to Eastern Mall without hitting certain stores. I'm not going to promote them on the show. But yeah, those particular stores, we always have to go there, and we always have to grab something. I don't care if it's a pair of socks. Oh, daddy, I need. I don't know when this shit is going to end. Daddy, I need. I need this, daddy. I need that, daddy. I'm okay. I guess they always gonna need. I appreciate the few that came in today and at least giving us a shot. It's up to me I'll be honest. I'll take full accountability on the fact that I did not let everyone know that we were not going to cancel today's show. So I just hit the power button and said, let's do it. Let's go ahead and go at it. I was going to take the day off of the show, and I was like, there's a little bit to talk about. There's a little bit to talk about. And I just, maybe my Cincinnati family can answer some questions for me and put me on the right path. Let me know what I'm missing here. Let me know what I'm missing when it comes down to, I'm a little confused on what's going on in my city, my beautiful city. And for those, let's clear up something. Because I read, I can't watch all the comments as they come through. I can't get all the comments. All right, let me just take this down real fast so I can see. I can't see all the comments during the show. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Some comments I see, they're so long, I just choose not to read them. Some comments are short and nasty. Some are short and sweet. Some I just totally ignore because I just don't like the comment. That's my prerogative. You feel me? It's my prerogative what I read, what I don't read. Y'all can see it. If y'all can see, I ain't blocking it. Feel me? I might not say anything. I might not even address it. But I do that because it's called the Wyatt Show. I could do that, right? And I don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with anybody that has a problem with how I run it. But now my question is this. I just want to know if anybody has a problem with me talking about Cincinnati because I don't live in Cincinnati. I don't live in the city of Cincinnati. So is Cincinnati off game for me? Like, should I not be able to talk about the city that I love, that I was born and raised in, because I don't live in Cincinnati? Is it fair to say that I shouldn't even address the things that's going on in Cincinnati? Because when I see comments or when I hear people, or it not even today's show, yesterday's show, or last week, or 2 months ago, or even 3 years ago, it doesn't matter. When I hear people say he don't even live in Cincinnati, what are you talking about? He ain't got no business talking about Cincinnati. When I see comments like that, I just never heard anybody call me and say that to me, because then we would have to address it, right? My thing is this. My opinion is Cincinnati is fair game to me, because I would challenge anyone that may want to challenge me on this. I bet I got a little bit more equity in the city than you do. I'm a property owner. I'm a business owner, taxpayer of Cincinnati. Feel me? Like, I own property in the city of Cincinnati, real estate, commercial real estate, residential, but I don't live in the city, but I pay Hamilton County, Cincinnati tax. So I should be able, I pay, that tax go toward everything that I criticize or that I think should go, a different way. I pay into the police division. I pay into the school system. These are all taxes. Tax dollars pay for that stuff. If I'm paying into it, I think I got more gain. I think I got more room to talk than people who may not even live in the city, who don't have any interest. They don't have any equitable position in the city. That's just me. I'm just curious. I mean, am I wrong? If I'm wrong, just say, hey, Wyatt, nah, that ain't it. You don't rest your head in Cincinnati, so don't talk about Cincinnati. But if my tax dollars go toward the police department, my tax dollars go towards certain people that get paid off tax dollars. If my tax dollars go towards the school system, I think it's fair game to be able to say, hey, I don't like this, or hey, this is cool. I like this. And I think it's fair game. And Trent is Black Popeye, his ass in the water somewhere. He said, still have Ohio Cincinnati ID. You still have an ID that makes you an Ohioan? I guess it makes you the whole Ohioan. Yes. You crazy, bro. Man. Ain't no harm, no foul. I just like to address a few things that I may come across later. I didn't really see it until last night when I was kind of going over the show. I do at times because I know I got a lot to work on as a host. So what I've learned is this. I've learned that if I watch the show, I might be, I don't know how many people ever done this before, but it's very difficult. I don't know how people in movies like superstars, movie stars and ball players and stuff like that who are seen on television, who can go back and watch their performance. I don't know how they do it. I guess they have to convince themselves that they're great. You know what I'm saying? I guess they have to convince themselves that they the shit. They the best at this, and they're gonna watch themselves and they're gonna love it. But for me, I don't think that. I think that I have a lot to work on. And all right, Black Rush. Let's see. Black Lion. Hold on, let me read it. Let me get my point out. I'll get you real fast. I think I got a lot to work on. So one of the things that I'm going to start doing is I am going to start watching the show afterwards. Of course, I can't watch it live because I am live, right? But I'm going to watch it later on and or in the morning the next day and kind of, you know, look at the things I need to work on. And to be honest with you, one of the things that I need to work on is timing a little bit. Feel me? Like talking to someone longer than it really should be. The other thing is I'm going to stop being so apologetic about my points of views. You feel me? Like there's a lot of things I need to work on. I'm just talking about the things that might affect you guys. You feel me? Like some of the things that might make the show a little bit better. I'll work on that. Dictation and stuff like that. That's me. Like I have a problem watching me because I want to say I should have said that a different way. Now, let me if I may, this is not an excuse. This is just something that needs to be said. If I was the type of show, I've never done anything live in my life. So if I had the advantage of being able to do what a lot of podcasters do and a lot of people that make clips and stuff, I would probably be a lot better because what they do is they have an opportunity to see their work before you see their work and they can edit it. When you're doing a live performance or a live show, there's no editing. What is said is said. How it's said is how it's said. How it's presented is how it's presented. You feel me? So there's no cleaning up aisle 7 before y'all see it. I have to say what I say, or I can't tell someone don't say that bad word. I can't take that out. I generally do better when I'm doing public speaking because I've had an opportunity to write a script. I've practiced it. You understand? I've been able to rehearse how I would say what I would say. And sometimes when you're doing personal appearances, you have an opportunity to schedule your own questions, so to speak. You feel me? Like you're able to weed out certain questions and certain other things that you want to come at you, and then things that you don't want to come at you. So I just wanted to let y'all guys know that I'm working on trying to get a little bit better in those areas for those reasons, because I want it to be a better show for you guys, not for me. I have fun doing what I do. So look, that's why I get a little hot under the collar, because you get people that they're not really trying to make you better. They're just trying to be part of it. And that's a little, and I don't have a problem with someone being part of it. That's why I love the people that come in. I love the phone calls, all of that. But I think what happens, you have some people that just want to be disruptive. They don't really want to, they don't want the answer to what they're saying. They're just trying to be disruptive. They're just trying to be that go against the grain and think outside the box and make things a little bit more difficult. I say to those people that here's why I don't take it personal. Okay, I love you, even though you might try to make it difficult for me. I love the fact that you engage with me because you don't have to be here. But here's what I say. This is why I don't take it personal, because I'm not the only one you do that to. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be totally. I put this on my mama. Do they still say that? If I thought it was personal, if I thought that it was just me that you were doing this to, I probably would block you. And that's fair. I'm just being honest. But now that I know that it's not really me and it's nothing personal, and that's just how you are, and that's what you do to everybody, then I just let it go. Why not be, I'm just being fair. But if I thought there was malice, if I really thought that you were just doing this aimed at me and me solely, then I probably would have a problem with you. You know what I'm saying? I think that's fair, right? If you were at work somewhere, no, this isn't work, but if you were at work and somebody was messing with you, calling you out and saying things about your job, oh, you didn't stock that shelf over there, and they always not stocking that shelf, and blah, 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 blah. And they're always aiming their criticisms or their problems at you and nobody else on the job, you would be like, oh man, why don't you go mess with somebody else? You would take it personal. But when you see they do that to everybody, maybe not everybody, but when they do it to the majority, most people, then that's just how they are, right? So you can't take it personal because that's how they are. Cool. Just wanted to run that by some folks because I do read the comments, but I generally don't read the comments that come in until after the show, like later on that evening or in the morning, something of that nature. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm working on trying to get a little bit better on some other things. Sierra, I seen a couple comments. One of them was like, you should consider, what was that? You said, consider hiring a social media manager or producer to consult with ahead of the show. Well, here's the thing, Sierra. If I was doing this as a profession, or if I was trying to make it a professional, if I was trying to, make it a part-time job, I probably would do all of that because that's who I am as a businessman. This isn't business for me. This is almost like having a hobby that you don't buy all the nice. If I was a painter, if I was a guy that just liked to paint, if it was a hobby for me, I don't think I would go get the finest brushes. I don't think I would go get the finest easels and all the materials that you need to be a professional painter and to sell your work. I don't think I would do that because I'm just a casual, podcast. Like it's not a profession. I'm not, the only thing that I want you to be able to, the only thing that I want to use on a professional level is to make sure that you can see me crispy. So maybe a camera, but all the other stuff, being prepared, getting a producer and all that stuff, Sierra, I hear you. I would do it too. Trust and believe. Everything I've ever done in a business, I've always been very professional about it. I've always hired people. I never do it myself. Well, early stages, I would always start it myself. But I'm the type of businessman, Sierra, to be honest with you, I pose this to you. I'm the type of businessman that always put people that are better than me in position of my businesses. You understand what I'm saying? I generally want people that are experts at what they do to guide the business that I put the money up for. I want them to run it. I'm not the type of person, I don't micromanage. I'm not the type of individual that feels like I have to be involved in all aspects of a business. That's how you lose money. I'm going to give you a 30-second example. I learned this from Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson said when he retired from basketball, and I've told this story several times, but this is the example that I have. Magic Johnson retired from basketball, professional basketball. When he retired, he became an investor in a sporting goods store. They sold baseball hats, basketball jerseys, and it was a sports goods store that sold apparel. He went into the business full blast. He invested a little bit over $1 million in this particular venture. And what he did is he went to the trades. He got everything that he needed as far as the information. And he went to the trade shows and he bought all the stuff that he felt like he needed for his sporting good sporting goods store. And what he did, Sierra, is he bought everything that he liked. Now he's Magic Johnson, point guard, former point guard, MVP. He's a big guy, big superstar. He went into the trade shows 2-3 months at a time, bought everything that he needed, that he wanted, all the stuff that he liked, the hats, the jerseys, the kids, the dad, blah, 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 blah. Opened his store. Didn't get much love. People were going, trying to buy something, but they didn't like the product. The reason why they didn't like the product is because every time, look, Lakers got 15, 20 different style hats. He didn't bring in people. He didn't bring in buyers. He didn't bring in people that would make decisions on, okay, the young folks would like this type of hat. This is what's trending in New York. So they'll wear this LA hat in New York. He didn't use strategic people. He didn't use that. What he did is he bought everything he liked. And he thought it was going to sell. Huge mistake. He said he lost like $1.5 million in that venture. And the reason why I learned from that is generally what we do is if you're an entrepreneur, I feel like this. God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Reason why he gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth is because you can hear twice, but you can say thing 1 time. So I figure I better utilize the things that I can hear twice, and I can only see when you talk, you only get 1 time to talk. Bang. You see what I'm saying? So I've always said I better listen and learn versus talking and trying to learn. It's hard to learn something when you're talking. So I learn a lot from guys that take L's. I learn from their lessons. And Magic Johnson taught me this a long time ago. I don't know Magic personally, but it was a very, very inspiring story that if you're out here and you're an entrepreneur, you better pay attention to what people tell you who are in the lines, people that are actually doing, when people that are actually in whatever business are, it doesn't even have to be a particular business. It can just be business in general. You can run a carpet store. And a carpet store owner can teach you something about whatever business you're in, because you still got there's still different businesses, but there's some aspects that are just the same. You face the same situations. You feel me? From staffing to bookkeeping to a lot of different stuff. It's all the same. So, I pay attention to people like Magic Johnson, and there's others. There's a plethora of people that I pay attention to of how to do and what not to do. And I've been doing that for many, many years. And I know there's some people that watch me that are close to me in my circle, younger entrepreneurs that I watch and I tend to share some of my experiences with, so they won't run into some of the traps that I ran into over my years. So that all being said, speaking of business, did you guys hear that the Target CEO is stepping down? The CEO of Target, I don't know exactly his or her name off the top of my head. I just happened to see it in a little post that came up on social media. And I was thinking to myself, wow, that's a nice little run, because most CEOs don't stay at major corporations that long. 11 years is pretty solid. All right. But I didn't really like the headlines, because the headlines said, due to the CEO is stepping down due to lack of sales and the boycott. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. I don't think the boycott is troubling as it is, because I believe certain things should happen and some things shouldn't happen. I don't think the boycott played a major role in the CEO stepping down because of low sales. I think that Walmart, Target, a lot of these Myers, a lot of these type of businesses in that space are suffering, not because of boycotts. It's because of how people are purchasing their goods these days. And I just see a change. I see a shift in retail. Brick and mortars are closing. It took Walmarts and people like that to close city stores, neighborhood stores. Walmart and those guys were the first to actually eliminate stores that we really that really hurt us. If you're a person that believe in small business, Walmart should not be an ally of yours. You should not look highly up to Walmarts and Targets and things of that nature. You know, you feel what I'm saying? Because and Stephen Speed, yeah, excuse me. David Herring said Target former CEO is Brian Cornell. Got you. Thank you, DH. Stephen Speed said Walmart closed a store. Excuse me. Stephen Speed said Walmart closing stores. Yeah, because the same thing that make you laugh make you cry. Because Walmart is now being hit by there's a couple different factors in my opinion. I don't know their books, I don't know their problems, I don't know what their reds and the reds and their black lines look like. I don't know. However, what I will tell you is some of the Walmart stores are in certain areas and they're being destroyed by theft. Okay, a lot of them are getting hit by theft. And I'm not talking about customers. You feel me? As a businessman, years ago when I was in retail, I'm going to tell you one of the major problems that you run into as a small business in retail is if you're not there to count your inventory, if you're not there to watch your inventory, if you're not there to sell your inventory, chances are, and I hate to say it, but chances are the majority of the theft that comes out of your location will be internal. I watched the Walmart, where was it? Okay. The Walmart in Columbus, Ohio, I guess they call that Eastern. I know it's in the Eastern area. We just talked about that Walmart. I watched TVs, flat screen televisions come out of that Walmart on those carts when the guys, the delivery guys are coming out to bring the side, what is it, curbside delivery? When you order something online and you come to the Walmart store to pick it up, I watched televisions come out of that Walmart. Just so happens I didn't know that I was doing this, but I parked over in that lane, left my wife in the car, me and the kids went into Walmart. But I parked my car over in that pickup area, not in one of the spaces, but in that area. I'm watching televisions be rolled out. I'm watching the essays, they all out there talking and they saying they smoking weed, they picking up their orders. And you can tell what they doing because they laughing. You got them, they doing what, you could tell that it's pretty much some underground stuff going on right there. And it's all internal theft. Those folks are not walking in the store stealing stuff. The stuff is coming outside of the store and they're just putting it in their car. So that's considered internal theft. You got an employee, there was like 2 or 3 guys that was wheeling stuff out from groceries to TVs to pretty much everything. And I know there's going to be some people that are going to say, well, Wyatt, how do you know? Because I'm from that. All right. I know the difference from somebody. We all, unless you're just trying to be an agent, we all can pretty much sense right from wrong. And we know when some shit jumping off. That's why we generally pick and choose how we move out here. Because when something don't seem right, it probably is not right. All right. So that's how I knew. And when you in a danger zone, when you in a spot or something and some shit ain't right and people looking at you like, are you the police? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Are you the cop? Is that 50? Is that the police? When people looking at you questioning if you the police or got that look like can they trust you or something, that means something going down. You feel me? So that's how I knew that it wasn't right. There was no paperwork, wasn't no, let me see your receipts, none of that. None of that. So a lot of theft goes on in these stores, and it's usually internal. Internal theft is the hardest. It hits the hardest because they get you for your big ticket items, and your guard is down for internal theft. So when people say that the CEO is leaving because of sales and because of the boycott, I guess that's out there. I guess that's put out there so you'll feel like the boycott that the preachers put on Target representing the Black community. I guess that's supposed to be a micro victory. That's how I see that. Because I'll be honest with you, just going over the numbers that I learned of Black shoppers that actually visit Walmart and the effect that the numbers were having on their bottom line, Sorry, guys, I don't think that that boycott was that effective. I think the boycott served the purpose for the people that put the boycott in place. And that's why I get upset. You don't have to be on my side when I bring this point of view up, but I'm just tired of people using us and our arguments and our valid arguments to be self-serving and using black folks in our arguments and our fights for their advancement, not for the people advancement, but for individuals advancements. I just found it weird that the ministers who put this Target boycott in place cut a deal at the same time some other stuff was going on. It was always about them. The deal didn't benefit. Did the deal benefit you at all as a consumer, as a black consumer? Did these preachers or anybody ever take in consideration how many black suppliers that Target was using online? How did that boycott, how did it play a factor into these small businesses, people who had businesses running through Target who were minorities? How did that factor in? From my understanding, I don't know if this is true. I hate to repeat something that I heard. Target took a position of saying, hey, y'all want to do that to us? Okay, we're going to remove some of our vendors. And I believe they got rid of a lot of minority vendors. So how did that affect us overall? Preachers made out because not only did they make what they did, make the moves of what needed to be done for them, but they also got notoriety. They looked like they was down for the people. It looked like they were, part of the movement, trying to look out for us. I'm so sick of that shit. I don't know what else to say. I can't say anything. And every day they do something to prove me right, prove us right. I don't know. You may not be with me, but every day they do something to prove us right of what how they doing things for themselves. And it's all good. Sometimes our truths over here make it seem like we're against the truth or we're against the people that want to get to the truth or whatever, but that's not it, bro. You have to be genuine in your moves. Your purpose has to be solid if you're going to convince me that you for us. When you make a move for us, it should benefit us. It shouldn't be a move for us and you're the only one benefiting. That's like 10 seconds. I'll tell you. I had a guy that I was going in business with, okay? And we didn't really have a clear understanding at the beginning. I'm going to take accountability on that because I approached the individual and we were talking and I was saying, why don't we? And I kept saying, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Because you have this skill in that and I have this skill in this. And bro, we can get, we can do some things together. Well, we went from us doing some things together to now we're going to do this. But then it all shifted on. I think the weight went more onto me doing the work and then that individual receiving all the benefits from the work. I thought they had a little bit better work ethic than they did. This was in a retail arena, a retail field, but they didn't. What they brought to the table, I could have found in someone else. Just somebody that did the same thing. I thought this person was a little bit more. I thought they were worth more than what they really were. And when I say worth, I mean I thought that they brought more to the table. And that's another learning experience that came with doing things early in life and never forgetting it. You feel me? Like as an entrepreneur, you can never forget the experiences. If you take those experiences for granted, whether you win or lose in those experiences, if you take them for granted or if you just no big deal and you forget about it, you'll regret it. Because I haven't faced an experience yet from the early days that have not come back in the later days. And I was able to, not get caught up in something because of that past experience. You feel what I'm saying? Those past experiences always jump up again later on. They just don't seem as bad because now you know how to deal with it. It don't bite. It's like not going to flee away. You don't let it land on you. Just let shove it away. No big deal. Dina says Target was getting rid of minority vendors before the boycott. That's why they asked for it. I don't know about that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I just remember having a fallout with a buddy of mine. I thought Target was on some bullshit anyway, to be honest with y'all. I wasn't saying these minority contractors because I was looking up or thinking that Target was looking out for black folks, to be honest with you. I've come on this show and called Target perps 2-3 years ago. It might have been as long as 3 years ago, because I said I had a problem with Target because the only time they put black products on the shelf and in front of the store is in February. I had a problem with that a long time ago. I had a problem with them giving shelf space to us only in the first week, the last week of January, all the way to the end of February. I had a problem with that because I'm like, okay, so just because it's Black History Month, you're going to allow us to only have shelf space, front shelf space, which is prime space in Target because it's Black History Month. What about vendors that are, us black vendors that have, all year round products? You only want to say, and here's what I found out. I found out that some of those vendors that were selling the black t-shirts and stuff like that in Target were white manufacturers. You feel me? They were doing Juneteenth shirts. Well, they weren't doing Juneteenth shirts at that time. I found out that Juneteenth shirts were being made by white vendors a year ago. 2-3 years ago, I had a problem with Target using black products only during Black History Month. Okay, and that rubbed me the wrong way. A buddy of mine who has a product, a local guy out of Cincinnati, grew up with him. I love him like a brother. He's a sandbox. I mean, he was one of my guys that I grew up with. Y'all know him. Mama Birch certainly knows him. He has a product, and he really, sometimes you fall out with your friends. They fall out with you. You don't necessarily fall out with them. Has anybody experienced that? Have you ever been so honest with your friend that, you wonder if you were real? We're seasonal friends. We've been seasonal. You got friends that are seasonal. You got some that are only with you for so long. And because you grow apart. I love him like a brother, but I don't think that we can ever do business together because we don't think the same in that frame. We're not there. But I admire him for even trying to do something on his own and do something out there. But when you become brutally honest with someone because you want to see them be successful, they don't really take it as if you're being on their side. They think that you're trying to slow them down. And I'm saying to my friend, like, bro, you have a product that you need. You can't just sell that without going through certain processes. You can't just sell, like, you can't. There's rules to sell certain things to people. You can't just sell medicine. You can't sell unproven drugs or unproven weight loss or unproven, you can't do that. You can do it in the black market, but you can't do that and think you're going to get on the shelf of Target. You can't go out here talking about you got this weight loss drug or this weight loss situation and Target's just going to pick it up. First, you don't have any sales. And then you go to bat for Target because you say, well, Target allowing black people to come in their business and they letting black folks sell their product, and you sitting here shooting for Target. And I'm saying, bro, Target ain't doing nothing for black people, bro. Stop. And he gets mad. He got mad at that. He thought I was shooting him down and shooting all his ideas. And I'm like, bro, I was trying to give him a head start. I'm trying to give you a head start of don't even knock on Target door yet. You're not really ready for that. And some people, I get it. They don't want you to teach them. They want to learn on their own. I was a hard head ass just like that. But I wouldn't be me if I didn't attempt to at least try one time. And I tried that one time. And here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. This is a friend of mine that I actually supported at one time in a business venture, and he still owed me the money. And we ain't talking about no short ass money. We ain't talking about thousands of dollars, but $1,700 is a lot of money to try to help someone in their business venture, and then they don't even act like they owe you the money back, and you still there for them, giving them information. And some people just, bro, they think you owe them because you know them. And I'm like, bro, this is crazy. This is nuts. So you're right. I'm gonna let you go ahead and do what you do, and good luck to you. But if I had someone like me early, I would really take advantage of it, and I'd take it up. I would be like, okay, I don't necessarily have to listen to Wyatt, but I will hear him, and I'm gonna do it my way. But I would take in consideration with someone who's been doing something. I would take their advice in consideration heavily. Once again, I got 2 ears and 1 mouth. I would definitely listen. You feel me? You can't learn anything by talking. The only thing you can learn by talking is only if you're asking questions. So that's but that all being said, I've been on Target's ass for years, well before any of this boycott and all this stuff. I've been on their ass for years. And Walmart is in a situation right now where they're getting exactly what they've done to our small businesses. Okay, Walmart has been detrimental to small entrepreneurs in this country for 20 years. You understand? They've hurt small business for 20 years. I can't tell you how many people, how much business I've lost over the years due to Walmart. When I was in I used to be in a business where I used to do textiles for gift shops, casinos, and places like that. And I remember looking at some of my garment prices and what I was paying wholesale for those garment prices, Walmart was selling retail for. For some that may not understand what I'm saying there, if I would go buy a blank t-shirt for $3, Walmart, that at a wholesale level, I was buying it from a manufacturer for $3. Walmart would have that same t-shirt sitting on the shelf, same brand and everything, for $3.25. And I'm saying to myself, like, wow, it's hard. Now, granted, for some that may be in this industry, that's not a decorative shirt. That's just a blank t-shirt. But they would have shirts that had decoratives on it, and be able to sell it for $10, where we would not be able to sell our shirts for $10. You have to sell our shirts for $15 or $20. So Walmart is actually making you cut your, you want to make a minimum profit margin of 30% in retail. That's minimum. If you can't sustain that, if you can't maintain at least a 30%, you're probably not going to be in business long, because you're going to have shrinkage. You're going to have shirts that don't sell that you're going to have to give away, and that cuts into your profit margins. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to tell y'all some of the things that I tell people all the time, and they don't want to hear it because everybody got dreams. I tell my people, the people that I love the most, don't start a clothing line. Okay, like if you're going to start a clothing line, it has to mean something. This is just my opinion, because there might be some people right now that have easy access to t-shirts and prints and all that old stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, like a billionaire has told all of us, it's the easiest way to lose any dime that you have. Because at one point, you got to understand, I'm not saying you can't be successful at it. It's a very hard nut to crack. Very few make it, but everybody's, it's easy. It seems to be the easiest things to get into are the hardest things to succeed in. You feel me? It's just the truth. Like, I go way back to guys like, I don't remember the young man's name in Dayton, Ohio. My mother knew him. He had this Players University situation. He did real well. It's all about timing. No one was doing what this young man was doing. He came out at the same time that Carl Kanai came out. And I love the fact that these guys could take these street ideas, Players University, and make quarters off of it, make dimes off of it. I was happy. You know what I'm saying? I even sported it. My mother gave me a few shirts. She bought some shirts from them. I was rocking it. People, it went good. And then here comes FUBU. This was all before FUBU. You feel me? FUBU was after the guys that really, some of these guys who didn't get at the FUBU level kind of paved the way for FUBU. Opened the door for smaller companies, or for small guys like Damon and them guys, to take it to another level. To be honest with you, I I think that if it wasn't for LL Cool J, FUBU would have never done. And that's not a knock. It's just actually it's kind of a good thing to see, because what LL Cool J did for FUBU shows what could be done today. You feel what I'm saying to you? Like, there's shows out here, there's movies out here, there's things out here that if a start, can you imagine? And I know this will never happen, okay? And I'm not saying it in a negative kind of way, but can you imagine if Denzel Washington, and I'm gonna use my favorite actor in the world, okay? I'm gonna use Denzel Washington. Can you imagine if Denzel Washington wore a Wyatt t-shirt in a movie or in an interview, or damn it, in his bathroom sitting down taking a crap? And it caught, he could wear it anywhere. If people see it, what does it do? It gives credibility. It brings qualm and money, or whatever you want to call it. It brings legitimacy. He can move the needle on smaller companies, smaller projects. I remember when Dame Dash did all that. From, I guess, what did they have? They had Rockefeller. They incorporated, Sean John did it. Puffy did it with Sean John. They incorporate, when the iron was hot, what they were able to do was they were able to take another line of business and connect it to what was already successful. See what I'm saying? Jay-Z wore Rockefeller clothes. He was the hottest rapper, so it made Rockefeller a $40 million business at that time when he was hot. So now they got the music that they got revenue from, and now the clothing line. Sean John, which was Puffy, he did the same thing. I like Sean John because Sean John went in a whole nother direction. Sean John was about dress shoes, shirts, suits. It was just different than State's Property that Dame and them came out with, okay? It's a blueprint of what could go on now. It's a blueprint of what should have been happening over the decades. But what happens is this: we don't really believe in our products. We want to go to the established products. This is just my opinion. Some people would rather wear a Gucci $800 t-shirt than a, I don't know, okay, I'll just use it, than a Wyatt t-shirt. Because Wyatt is nothing. That ain't nothing. FEMA Porter, my girl Nikki, that ain't nothing. Don't send her that. Y'all know I'm using that as an example. I got love for Nikki. I would, it ain't that. I'm using my brand. All these small brands can't hold a candle to these major Louis Vuittons, Gucci, and Balenciaga, all this bullshit that's out here that has no tie to our community. Has no way of giving back to the community in a way that would, here's the thing. If you call Nikki, who has FEMA Porter, or if you call Means, who has Black owned, and you live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they live in Cincinnati, and you make this phone call, hey, bro, hey, Means, listen, man, I've been watching you in Cincinnati. I think you're doing a great job, man. I got a little bit of thing going on. People been seeing your brand out there. And I was wondering, man, like, can I open a store here and can I buy from you? You feel what I'm saying to you? I want to open a Black owned store. It's called Black owned for some that are out of town and may not know. The name of his brand is Black owned. I'll connect the retail store on one side and then do a Black coffee next door and make it a connecting joint. And I was thinking about doing that here in Charlotte. What do you think? That's what should be going on. Because when you buy Black owned, the brand, and if you get it to the point where people see it everywhere else in different cities, and it's something that everybody engages in and everybody wants to do it, now you're building equity in a brand that's going to give back to the community. I can't call Louis Vuitton. I can't call Gucci and say, hey, I know your shit sell real well, and it'll probably do real well in my community here in Charlotte. I'd like to open a store. No, because Gucci own their own stores. Louis Vuitton own their own stores. Balenciaga own their own stores. Those aren't franchises. And none of the people that I just mentioned give back to the community. They don't. So what equitable reason would I go and try to support brands that don't give back to me? Why would I do that? Just doesn't make sense to me. I tell you what I'd like to share with you. And then I'm going to get into some of the things I know y'all really want to do. I tried a couple years ago in broad daylight. And when I say broad daylight, meaning I was very transparent to everyone here. I was trying to get in with a steak and shake. And I didn't even care where it was, like the location. Steak and shakes are manufacturer. They're owned by the manufacturer, obviously. They're franchise. They franchise them out, but they had a rebuy. They bought all their franchises out. You know what I mean? They brought them back, redesigned. They're doing a whole nother, they're doing something different with it. So now they're trying to rebirth their brand and they're selling them, right? They're bringing out opportunities for people to be able to buy as a franchise the Steak and Shake brand. Now, I tried to get one and I thought it was going to happen. I didn't even care where the location was, but they do ask you, well, what region and what locations and what areas are you looking to, seek your, this journey in? So I point these direct, I point in certain areas, and they were in the Cincinnati area. They were kind of like in the suburbs of Cincinnati, like the Mason area. There's one out there. There's one in Montgomery. I listed several, not only in Ohio, but in Indiana and Kentucky as well. And I got turned down. And it wasn't because of what I thought it would be. It wasn't because of the credit. It wasn't, like credit worthy. It wasn't because of not having the proper capital. It's because what I know is they're looking for people that they don't want to see fail. They don't know my personality. They don't know that if I owned a Steak and Shake, I'm not going to put on black pants and a white shirt and a Steak and Shake hat and run the operation day to day. That's what they're looking for, though. They're looking for day-to-day operators who actually run their stores. I kind of figured this out later. That's what they're looking for. They don't want somebody they want somebody with the experience, with the food service experience. I don't have food service experience. I worked at La Rosa's Pizza for one day. Okay. One day when I went to Withrow. And short story about that, if you care to hear it. I've never worked in the restaurant business except that one day. That La Rosa's up by Withrow High School in Cincinnati. I had to be to work at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I had to ride the bus from Walnut Hills to what area is that high? What area is Withrow in? What area is that? Is that Hyde? Is that Hyde Park? I don't know. Anyway, I had to ride the bus from Walnut Hills. I was a young kid. I was a young guy. Ride the bus from Walnut Hills to Withrow, or to that place, and to the La Rosa's by Withrow. And bro, I had to be there at 6 in the morning. So I had to leave like at 4:30 to be there at 6. I get there, y'all. I get to the La Rosa's on time, right? To work. 6 o'clock in the AM. Nothing but Hyde Park. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, E. Nothing but like college age guys in there at that point. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Frick Roz. And here's what I found out. At 6 o'clock in the morning, they're not fixing pizzas. They're not working on pizza. What they're doing at 6 o'clock in the morning is cutting cheese and doing dough and the hard shit. And if you don't think it's hard to cut cheese when it's frozen, think again. It's the hardest shit in the world to do. And they was like, all right, come on in, Wyatt. Or, I'm down in the basement trying to cut this cheese. And I'm on that shit so heavy and my whole body weight is on it. And I'm barely cutting one little piece of cheese off at a time. And they brought me 2 big ass slabs of cheese to cut. And I knew right then and there, this ain't going to work for me. Y'all want me to get out here and do this shit every day? I'm about to ride the bus for an hour and a half to come out here, and I could just work construction. You know what I'm saying? Some shit and make 3 times the money. I'm not a construction guy either, but I'm out here working on these damn cheese, and the guys, the college dudes, and y'all got to understand, at 16, 17 years old, I wasn't quite militant, but I ain't really fucking white boys like that. Feel me? So the white boys all upstairs, and they up there not doing shit. I'm the only one downstairs. I'm slaving it. You feel me? That's how I am at that age. I'm thinking that shit, and I hear them upstairs laughing. They probably ha-ha gigging about some different shit. I don't know, but I'm in my head like, these motherfuckers laughing at me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm killing myself trying to get cheese cut and do all this old shit. And it's by 6:25. It wasn't even quite 6:30 yet in the morning. I hear them laughing, and I throw the little knife thing down, and I walk upstairs. I knock on the door, and they upstairs laughing and doing whatever fuck they're doing. And I'm like, hey man, where's the bathroom? I just need to use the restroom. Is that all right? They was like, oh yeah, go around there. It's around the corner. And some, they had me use the one on the at the dining restroom, what the customers use during the dining hours. Yeah, Gina, they was laughing. So I went to the bathroom, but when I walked out the bathroom, they were like not there anymore. They weren't doing whatever they was doing. I walked out the front door and they never seen me again. I gave La Rosa's Pizza about 30 minutes free of my life. I didn't go back for a check. I didn't call them. I didn't write them. I didn't say shit. I didn't send them a fax. I didn't do shit. I just left. I was a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid or whatever it was. Shit, I might have been 19. I don't know. I know I had to be like 19 because I was already out of high school. So I was just getting back from Europe at that time. And I heard, it didn't set in well for me. And number one, I already knew I'm better than cutting cheese and all this old labor. I'm way better than that. I'm smarter than this shit. And they laughing at me and I'm the only one doing it. That's how I felt as a young man. Like, man, I ain't about to do this shit. And we all feel that way. There's just certain jobs and certain things that we will not do if we don't have to do it. So I walked out. I walked out. Just so happened to be lucky enough that the bus was coming down the street when I walked out. So I didn't have to stand at the bus stop because, the bus stop right outside La Rosa's. At least it used to be. And I stood out there. I was even going to walk up the street and go to the next bus stop so I didn't have to stand outside of La Rosa's store and wait for them to come see what I'm doing. But I just so happened to I know God sent the bus. He brought that 47, no, the 43, whatever it was. He brought that damn thing right down the street as I was coming. Coming out, the bus was coming, and I ran and got on the bus. I couldn't do that job. There was no way in hell I was going to go catch that bus every morning from Walnut Hills out to Hyde Park at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was gone. Carolyn, I was gone. But my mother always told me, like, know your worth, know your value. Like we always hear. I didn't have no kids. I ain't had shit that I had to do to take it. If I didn't get no money that day, oh well, I just didn't do the shit I wanted to do. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't have any obligations. I hadn't met my wife yet. I knew that this shit right here, it was the 11 Donna, thank you. I was about to say that. This shit was just something to do so I could just get myself off crap. You feel me? Like I'm about to, I ain't want to hustle. All my partners trying to pull me in, trying to give me some work. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I got shit to do with my life. I can't be out here hustling like that. Y'all had me before I left. Y'all done did some time, and then I'm back, and y'all back out here on the streets. I'm not going to give my life to the penitentiary. I got shit to do with my life. I'm not going to do it. So that was that story about La Rosa. That was that. I was just saying, like, small businesses have suffered from big businesses like Walmart, Target, and all that. We've suffered. And to be honest with you, it's really hurt us. It's hurt our community more than it's hurt anybody. I guess that could be argued in so many different ways. Like, it's hurt everybody, Wyatt. I do believe that. He said, get myself off crack. No, off crap. Sierra, we can tell you ain't never been broke. All right? Because everybody that's been broke before like that, they know exactly what I said. I didn't say get myself off crack. I said get myself off crap. That means you ain't got shit in your pocket. You just, feel me? So I was a young dude. I didn't want to get out in the streets. I didn't want to do all that. But I knew I was smarter than cutting cheese and shit every morning. You feel me? And I knew that. But sometimes you need startup money. You need to figure things out, figure out what you're going to do, figure out what you're seeing and what's going on out there. You got to figure it all out. And, that's what I did. That's what I did. That was before my wife. And actually within that year, I met my wife, and I was already, working in the direct. I landed at Globe Records after that situation. Much easier job. But what happened is, I think within a year, I met my wife at Sierra said, I've never heard that phrase before, because you ain't never been broke. You ain't from where we from. You ain't never been broke, Sierra. That's a common used phrase where we're from. Trust me. But and that's great. I'm glad you ain't never been in a position to understand that language. That's great. But yeah, I met my wife at 20 years old. So yeah, it was a year before that. And I did have an opportunity to get things together. And I was going in the right direction by the time I met my wife. Let's just say that. She would not have messed with me if I was a street dude, or if I was out here cutting cheese if I didn't have dreams and aspirations, I would have never found her, because she wasn't looking for that. She wasn't looking for just, what I'm saying. But that all being said, the Steak and Shake. That's damn. I come a long way from the Steak and Shake conversation. Anyway, let me just say this one thing about Steak and Shake, if I may. Okay. The reason why I brought up Steak and Shake is because that's a flagship company. It's a major company. They turned me down because of the lack of experience that I have in the food service industry. That one day at La Rosa's was not enough to put on a resume from 35 years ago for them to say, oh yeah, we can get you in. They're not in a position to want to just take my capital or take my money and just, yeah, we got us one coach. Let's put him in the game. We got his money. No, that's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to bring in people that have experience and give them an opportunity to be an owner operator of their own Steak and Shake. Now, y'all going to think that I'm plugging Steak and Shake right now, but I'm not. What I'm trying to do is provide some information that somebody, if I get 1,000 people watching this program today, you would absolutely make my year if only one person succeeds with what I'm about to talk about for a couple seconds right now. If 1,000 people are watching right now and only one capitalize off the information that I'm about to share with you right now, if only one of you succeed at this or attempt it and make something good out of it, it'll be the best thing I've done on Wyatt Live since the existence of the show. I think that I know a young lady that's been at Wendy's hamburger since she got out at Wendy's. I guess it's Wendy's fast food restaurant. She's been there over 30 years. She's been there since she left high school at West High. She's a manager. She's probably like the assistant general manager at this point. But I would think someone like her would be ideal to own and operate their own Steak and Shake. Hamburger joint is a hamburger joint. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if you work, a pizza joint is a pizza joint. It's the industry that you need to learn. It's the food industry overall, not necessarily the product brand. Product brand that's nothing. It's dotting the I's and crossing the T's of the industry. So what I say is anybody who has fast food or fine dining or any type of experience, if you have like 10 years experience of management, 10 years experience of being in fast food in any capacity, I don't care, damn it, if you work fries at McDonald's and you've been doing it for 10 years, I would reach out to Steak and Shake corporate. Matter of fact, I'm going to give you the information. I took a screenshot of it. This is not the original one that I had when I tried, but this is a screenshot of what they're doing now. And I'm going to tell you guys, if I had the experience, I had everything they needed to own and operate a Steak and Shake. I mean, I went to the office, I went to the meetings in Indianapolis that year, what, 3 years ago? I went to two meetings in Indianapolis and sat down and talked to them. Had everything. Tracy said, I know her, Wyatt. Oh, okay, then you know who I'm talking about. She would be prime idea, T, for someone like that. You know, maybe you should have her holler at me, because I can get her who she need to talk to. And if she don't have what it takes as far as the capital, you know, we might be able to work something out if things look right. Okay, I'm not making a commitment here, you know that, but I'm just saying if things work right, you know, if they're willing to listen, if she can pass the exam from them, I will make sure that it happened. Let's just say that, because it's not a lot of money. And I'm not saying that to be blowing big, Tracy. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, sis. We'll make sure that she can get that if that's what it's going to take for her, if that'll get her over the hump. You feel me? But I feel like this. Sometimes we have to go a different route in trying to do certain things when it comes to business. We want to start our own t-shirt companies. We want to start our own thing that have our name on it. I get it, but that's not always the route to go. Sometimes what we need to do is maybe look at certain other avenues to get other things going. And what I mean by that is to own and operate a Steak and Shake or one of the Frisch. Did you see the buyout of Frisch's? Did you see how when the Frisch's all fell apart, that whole deal fell apart because of the COVID situation? Did you see who ended up taking over the Frisch's? I think they took over like 10 Frisch's. Okay, the managers. Oh, I wish I could have got in on that. There are managers that are now owners and operators of Frisch's that are coming back, or they name them something else, Sally's or something like that. Those are former managers. Those should be us. That should be somebody that's been a manager at Frisch's for 10 years. That should be somebody that was a general manager at Frisch's. Probably those are more general managers than they are managers. But I pose this challenge to us. I hear a lot of people talking about Black folks, we need economic growth in America. We need economic growth in our communities. But we never have conversations like what I'm bringing to the table today. A unity purchase. Figure out how we can buy things together that are already branded, that are already built. You know, some of the richest people in America, yeah, they have started their own thing, maybe in a tech field where they provided a service that was needed or convenience. But what we need to do is start putting coins together, experiences together, and working together. And what's wrong with having a Steak and Shake? What's wrong with having a Frisch's? We've been spending our money in Frisch's for years. You know, y'all ass has been down there buying them hot fudge cakes and them at Frisch's big boys for decades. And all we get is pretty much frontline service money, tips, hourly wages. Why don't we have any equity in any of the companies that we've been spending our money with all these decades? I tell you why, because nobody really talks about that. No one really talks about, hey, we got to stop being so much of a consumer. You know, we need to be principals in some of these situations, man, not necessarily the consumer all the time. And what I've learned is the only people that get these opportunities most of the time are guys like, and I love Dave Parker and some of the other big wig people in the cities that end up with Popeyes and Wendy's and stuff like that. Those opportunities are brought to them. In most cases, there's somebody, some agent that they have, and you know, they get these opportunities brought to them. I don't think that Dave was like, oh yeah, you know what? I'm gonna get my money up and then I'm gonna go get me a Popeyes chicken. I don't think that's what happens. You know, even some of the rappers, the Rick Ross guy, he has an opportunity to own 50 wing stops, and I think he has about 20 or 25 of them now. He has a contract where he has to buy so many a year, but he's maxed out at 50 wing stops. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, just for the record, I don't like Wingstop. I don't like the product. The wings make me sick. I know y'all probably like those, what is yellow pepper honey wing, all that old goofy shit. You know, I don't eat those wings because I get a little sick. They have something in them that don't agree with me. However, I do the business. If someone said that you had an opportunity to get 10 wing stops in a 10-year span, I would definitely try to look into making that happen. I don't have the food service experience, but I don't think Wingstop would care because I think they're a franchise that want the money. If you succeed, you succeed. If not, okay. But I think Steak and Shake is on a different level right now. They're looking for owners and operators, and they want them to succeed. How I know they want them to succeed is that the startup money is not very much. Okay, you don't need that much. And what I've learned is they actually own the building and own the land. Ross said it's Popeyes, not pot pies. I didn't say pot pies. I know it's Popeyes. Did I say it wrong? Maybe you heard it wrong or something. You got water in your speaker there, Ross, on your device. I know what Popeyes is, bro. And yesterday. But that all being said, let me put the thing up here, the little pic that I have. This is not the one that I originally used, but they still out there. This is what it looks like. Let me see if I can bring it up. Somebody needs to copy this, take a screenshot of it or whatever. Okay. I know that what's that other little chicken spot? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has this same program. I don't know if you guys know this. Chick-fil-A is probably the busiest restaurant in the Midwest right now. Okay. They're always crowded. They're off on Sunday, but every other day that they're open, other than Sunday, the lines are packed. The lines are absolutely packed. What I've learned is you don't own Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's are owned by corporate. They just hire, someone to run the store and work them on percentage. They think they own them. They really don't own those Chick-fil-A's. However, you got to be part of a church. I had an opportunity to buy into Chick-fil-A. This is going to sound kind of weird to some of you. True story. I had a guy that I knew that actually owned a Chick-fil-A in Middletown, Ohio. White dude. We became pretty cool because we had a location in the same building. I had a brick and mortar in that building, and his Chick-fil-A was 3 doors down from me. We became buddies. We became friends. Here's what happened. I didn't realize what was going on with Chick-fil-A at this time. This was 20 years ago. My oldest daughter was alive. She was born. My youngest was not born yet. My youngest is 20 years old. So this had to be 20 to 21 years ago for Chick-fil-A. True story. The owner of the Chick-fil-A at that time, he was cool. But you ever been cool with somebody that you ain't gonna get cool with? Like y'all ain't, if we break bread, it's because we breaking some of this Chick-fil-A bread. You're not coming to my crib. I'm not coming to your crib. Like you and your wife, I hear y'all cool. We cool over here. But now here's what happened. He owned the Chick-fil-A. This was at the beginning of Chick-fil-A. And he was really hitting me on these products. Like, man, we got this tuna, this chicken tuna fish. It's not tuna fish, but it's chicken salad. Like I'm a tuna fish guy. I love tuna fish, the old school, But they had a chicken salad that was just like that. They don't sell it anymore. It was like I said, this was the beginning of Chick-fil-A. So they were experimenting with some of the product brand, with some of the products off the brand. So what he did is he would let me taste stuff at the store. And a lot of it was really good. All right. I don't even like Chick-fil-A, but that chicken salad I've never had chicken salad that tastes that good in my life. However, the fries was good. I was tasting everything. It was cool. We became pretty cool, him and I. One day he asked me, he said, listen, man, why don't you you and your wife come to church with us? We'll save you a seat. So it started getting to that type of conversation. And I start blowing him off a little bit, like I ain't trying to bring my family, I ain't trying to be cool with you like that. That was just me. I've never really been the type of guy that got cool with people that there was no, like that type of situation. There had to be some benefit in it for me. I don't want friends right then and there in my life, just being honest. So I was like, all right, man, we'll make that happen one day. But I knew in the back of my mind, it wasn't going to happen. So he kept trying to become a little closer friends. And I was like, no, Chick-fil-A's are closed on Sunday. All of the Chick-fil-A owners go to church on Sundays. I said, really? He was like, yeah. He was like, the reason why we're not open on Sundays is because we're not allowed to be open on Sundays because we're required. And this is what he said. We're required to go to church. Now, I didn't realize that Chick-fil-A was a Christian brand. It was a Christian store. It was opened by an older man that was a Christian, and he had his Christian beliefs and his ways and things of that nature. I didn't realize that at that time. And what happened was I got schooled. So the guy was like, yeah, we're closed on Sundays because we all go to church and all the Chick-fil-A's. And he told me right to my face. He said, if you're ever interested in getting a Chick-fil-A, you need to come to church with me. Now I'm getting this cult type feel. You feel me? I'm getting a cult type of a feel. I'm sorry. It's just, that's who I was at 22 years old. I'm thinking like, what the fuck? I got to, like, if I want a Chick-fil-A with all these, because he had already let me taste a lot of stuff that was coming down the pipeline. And I'm like, bro, this shit is great. You know, they don't have one of these in Cincinnati. They didn't even have a Chick-fil-A in Cincinnati at that time. Okay. So it was only like up in the Middletown area. And I'm like, wow, this shit is really good. I would love to have one of these. And he was like, well, if you come to church with me, I can introduce you to the right people. And it threw me, that really bugged me a little bit. Like, I got to go to church to get into the business of Chick-fil-A. And he was honest with me. He said, that's where we network. That's where we do our business. We're a religion-based company. And that's what it's going to take in order to get in to Chick-fil-A is you're going to have to join the church. He didn't say you have to join, but that's how I took it. Like, you're going to have to be part of what we're doing over here. And that threw me off a little bit. And I had a really good relationship with him. And he really schooled me that if I really wanted to do it, here's the money that it would take. I didn't have, at that time, I had my money tied up into what I was doing. So I didn't really have the money that it was going to take to open up, you know, a shop anywhere. If they would have gave me one, I wouldn't have been able to open it. I didn't have the funds for it. So I let him know, man, I really appreciate the opportunities. I appreciate all that and blah, blah, blah. I stopped, you know, associating with him a little bit. I stopped, you know, talking to him. We were cool, but I just, hey, how you doing? And I blow right by him. Feel me? It turned into that. And all I can say to you is now I do know of some Black owners of Chick-fil-A's across the country. I do know that there's a couple ladies that are they're operators, because none of them own. If somebody tell you they own a Chick-fil-A, they're not being honest with you. You know, they're really just operators. There's a CEO of that particular, not of the brand of seat. They're the head person in charge of that particular seat of that Chick-fil-A, and they get paid on percentages. Okay, they can't, you know, they can't do anything because number one, it's a franchise, so they can't run a sale. They can't do anything outside the franchise lines, and they really only have a stake in the store from a commission view. But I don't think anybody's complaining about that because Steak and Shake is always busy. They're one of the most consistent. I would say that I would think that they've probably surpassed McDonald's when it came down consistency of being busy. McDonald's is busy all day, but I don't see lines behind the drive-throughs at McDonald's like I see at all the Chick-fil-A's. But then again, you have to wonder, like, there's not that many Chick-fil-A. Like, you're not going to find a Chick-fil-A every corner or every exit down the expressway. There's a Chick-fil-A probably every 30 miles, maybe, or 40 miles down the expressway from one another. And McDonald's, boy, you can go 2-3 exits and find another McDonald's. So that might be one of the reasons why McDonald's has been able to keep their numbers higher. Twin says Blade wife owns one. I don't know who Blade wife. What's the Blade? Is that a Blade's wife owns one? Okay. I don't think anybody owns them. They're just operators about Chick-fil-A. Let me go to the phone line real fast before I move on. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hello, Mr. Wyatt. This is CK.
CK, hey, how you doing today, brother? What's on your mind?
Hey man, the La Rosa's combo was epic.
Yeah, that was
I
bad.
did 8 years where you couldn't do 8 hours.
Mm.
8 years.
Yeah, bro, you better than
La
me.
Rosa's. Right, right. But like you said, you made a great point when you were describing your story. You said if I didn't have to, see, you had that choice. You wasn't, you had free will.
Yeah,
I was up
yeah,
there
yeah. I
and
agree.
it was good money. It was good money. They good people. But like you said, I didn't deal with the block of cheese that you had to deal with. You
That
see
was,
what I'm saying?
you
That's
know. Do you
different.
know what I'm
And
talking
I
about?
probably, yeah.
Is it La Rosa's that you gave 8 years to like that?
Yes, sir. It was Clifton, sir.
Okay, so you know exactly what I'm talking about with that prep in the mornings that you have to do to cut the product, the cheese, and shred it and all that. That's hard work, bro.
No, no, you talking about some stuff back when in your day, man. It probably wasn't even like that no more, man.
Yeah, they probably got
That's back
machines
in
for all
your
that. Yeah, they probably
yeah, man.
yeah, that's
Can't
true.
nobody do it.
Yeah, that shit wasn't for me. I know it wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's for independent contract. They was showing you the real down home recipes.
Well, come on, but CK, that was 30 years ago, 35 years ago. So they probably didn't have the machines back then. You know, I know they don't have the machine. They didn't have the machines back then that they have today. It was all
So how
most of it was
long
manual.
did you make it through the whole shift, or you
No,
left
bro, did you not
in
hear the
between shifts?
story? I had to be at work at 6 o'clock. I was on the 6:31 bus. I was,
Oh,
I
quick
was,
decision.
bro. Snap.
I like that. I
I mean,
like that.
bro, when I went upstairs and I heard them cats, they was already laughing and doing what they were. By the time I made it upstairs, I was already at the point. I'm just gonna keep on going. But I wanted to use the restroom before I left, so I asked them where the bathroom was. They pointed the bathroom. I was in the bathroom for maybe a minute and thinking to myself, what am I gonna say? I'm gonna run out to my. What I was gonna say is I'm gonna run out to my car, and I didn't have a car, but I was gonna say I'm gonna run out to my car, and then I just not gonna come back in. I didn't have to say all of that because when I came out, they were already spread out and gone and doing other stuff.
Yeah.
So I just went out the front door and I just kept on going, bro. I didn't
So
look
you
back.
went to you went to the restroom to contemplate your next step
No,
in
I
this
went to the
journey.
restroom because I know I had an hour and a half bus ride back home and I ain't want to have to use the bathroom. I pieced them out mentally, bro. I was done.
That was a smart move. Do I like? But how old? What age we talking?
I was about 19.
But you said you was gonna lie and say, "Let me get something out the car." It ain't even no car that exists.
Yeah, now that was gonna be my excuse to go out the front door. But by the time I came out from the restroom, they were already gone doing whatever they was doing in the store, sweeping or whatever they were doing. And I just walked out, bro, and I just never came back.
Yeah, that was
You
excellent
want to hear
move.
something
But
crazy? You want to hear something crazy?
what's that?
Bro, my daughter did the same shit at Krispy Kreme Donuts in Cincinnati up there. And I don't know.
Norwood.
Nah, there's one up in West Side, not West Side, but it's up by American. I forgot the name of that area. Damn, it'll come to me. But it's American Mall, or Mall America, some shit like that. There's one up that way.
Right,
And
right.
they had just opened it. And my daughter came in. This is the father that she has, because I couldn't even be mad at her and shit, right? She go and have to open up the store. This store hadn't even been open, like they just opened the store up, bro. And she go up and get this Krispy Kreme job. This is like a summer type of thing. And she go in there and she was like, she called me 20 minutes after she was there. I dropped her off. There you go. Thank you, Lamont. He said Westchester on Tylersville. That's exactly the location. She was in there bro. She had to be there at like 8 in the morning or something like that. I dropped her off at like 10 till 8. Bro, she had called me at 8:20. I wasn't even all the way. I wasn't even home yet because we live far from there, but I was gonna drop her off. I dropped her off. By the time I was getting back to the gates, she was on the phone with me. Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, Voice of America Mall. She was on the phone with me, CK. Daddy, I need you to come pick me up. I'm like, what you talking about? It's 8:20. Nah, I can't do this. I said, what you mean? She's like, they ain't here got me washing dishes and pots and pan. I'm here to make donuts and sell donuts. I'm not here to be washing dishes and I'm not putting my hands in that water, messing my nails up. I'm not doing this. Is not for me. Now, me knowing my history, you know what I'm saying, bro? How I'm gonna be mad at her? I ain't gonna be mad at her for that because I had to turn around, turn the whip around. And I went back. I said, all right, babe, I'll be there in another 20, 30 minutes. I'll be right back to get you. Now, her mama wasn't cool with that, but her mama didn't know my story. Feel me? My wife didn't know my story. And I had to tell my wife, like, nah, I'm going to get her because she, my baby, that ain't what she gonna be doing in her life. And I don't want her to feel like she got to be a dishwasher at the damn Krispy Kreme donut.
Kreme.
You feel me? And I'm like, fuck that.
Let
I
me-
know she better than this. She gonna be a doctor one day and she ain't about to do this. Now, granted, CK, it's the same thing that you just said. The free will, like, I'm not gonna make my daughter do that shit when she can go work at the library. She can go do something that's gonna be better and conducive to what she got going on later in life. I'm not gonna make her work at Krispy Kreme when they made her think that she was gonna be, selling donuts or at the cash register and they got her back there washing dishes and shit. That ain't cool.
Mr. Wyatt is parallel to my life. See, the difference was it was so hard to find employment. I'm down in Decatur, Georgia. Then next thing you know, I get hired at Piccadilly Cafeteria. Same, yeah, Piccadilly Cafeteria.
Bro, I know that. That's crazy.
Right.
Oh my
God,
I haven't heard that in years.
Busing suds, like you just said with your daughter, busing suds, right?
Yeah.
But I had the journey for the employment took years. So I had, like you said, I had no choice but to take it. Because it wasn't like I wasn't in her situation. Like, hey, nah, I don't like it. No, I've been searching and all my life I've been searching for a job to pay the bills.
Okay, CK.
And found nothing.
CK Soul
Ain't
Train.
found nothing.
CK Soul Train.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. I'm just trying to tell you.
I know, bro.
So I started busting them suds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So once I started busting them suds, man, hardest job I ever had. My first job was my hardest job. That's a blessing from God.
Yeah.
And I did it for 6 months. 6 months is 6 years as a 16-year-old. What 6 years? 6 months is a long time when you're a teenager. Tell the truth.
It is. 6 months feel like a couple years if you're a teenager.
Yeah, it felt like years, but it was only 6 months. But that's where I got my sud, and the hardest job ever. So you got to go all the way back to your teen for your worst job ever.
Well,
that is.
Yeah, you know what? My wife and I had a little fallout on that. I almost got divorced because we was do some shit at that time. I had to tell her, like, listen, know that they can do things better, don't necessarily need lessons. Okay, that's just me as a man. My wife was in some shit. She was on this, and I need your advice on this, CK. Tell me who was right or wrong. Okay, listen, you gonna help me out with something? I don't care what side you're on. I just need to know if I was right or wrong. Okay.
Honest opinion. I'm agreeing.
Honest opinion. I'm a firm believer that you have to know your value. You have to know your worth. Okay. I'm not saying that somebody that does that job ain't worth anything. I just know that job is not for me, cutting that cheese. All right. But I had to have that same principle and I felt that same way with my daughter. Like, I didn't convince her that washing dishes wasn't for her. That was already in her mind. So I couldn't go against it. But when I came back, I had to tell my wife, like, hey, listen, I'm going to pick up Trinity because she don't want to do this shit. And I feel her. She'd be like, well, wait a minute. She just started the job. She can't quit 30 minutes in the job. I didn't tell her that I'd done that shit before, right? But what I did tell her was this. I said, listen, babe, she's not the type of kid that has to have bad experiences doing heavy lifting ass jobs to know that to stay out of trouble or you'll be doing this type of shit your whole life. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? Right. She's not the type of kid that you have to make them walk up the street barefooted because they doing crazy shit in life.
That's who I am, Wyatt. That's who I am. Okay. I have to go through.
Did you have to do that early in life?
Like you said, not everyone has to do that. Some of us are born messed up, and some of us are get dropped on our heads as babies.
Okay, so CK, my question to you.
That didn't happen to
my question. So did you have to? So let me answer. As a young man, did you have to go through Did you go through a bunch of those hard jobs and somebody was teaching you that if you don't do things right in life, these are the type of jobs you're going to have to do? Did somebody do that?
Yep, straight up fool.
What
Straight
happened?
up
What
fool.
happened?
I
The hard examples didn't sink into you. I mean, like, you knew that if you didn't do certain things right in life, this is the type of stuff you're gonna have to do for the rest of your life. It didn't sink
Listen to
in.
me, Mr. Wyatt. Getting employment was very hard. I'm
Okay.
talking about hard. So getting it, so whatever you can get, you gotta take. It don't matter if it's throwing them papers, slinging them burgers, making pieces,
But it's
anything you can get, plumber,
you
anything,
losing me.
barber. You have to do anything because you dying out here. You
You
have to pay
losing me.
those bills,
You
right?
losing me. We're talking about a 16-year-old kid at this time, 17-year-old kid at this time. You're losing me. That 16, 17-year-old kid does not have a lifestyle of what you just described. They don't have bills. They don't have all the things.
No, but 16, I just told you months, years as a teenager. So if you can't get a job for months, that's years. So once you do get that little dishwashing job, you're taking it, Wyatt,
No,
because you
I
broke.
don't agree with. I agree with what you're saying, but you got to put it in proper context. The situations are different. My daughter was not in like what you're talking about.
No, you was though. You was when you was at that cheese
No,
cutting
that shit
factory.
didn't work for me. You right. I was working at La Rosa's for 30 minutes.
Broke as hell. I
Broke.
had nothing but lint in your pocket
All I
like
had was,
Rakim in 1987.
bruh, all I had was the check that I was gonna be getting in a week. I ain't even had that yet. You feel me? That's all I had. I had bus fare. You know what I'm saying? I was on crap. I was on crap because I took an L on some other shit that I ain't had no business doing, and I had to get out here and bouncing. I had to bounce back. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm gonna do. But it wasn't, that job was not for me, and I didn't bring myself to that level. I could do other things. I can go get another job. I could find something that pay the same amount of money. It's just that job wasn't it. You feel me? It wasn't that one. So
Yeah,
now
but you
my
had
baby got my
confidence. I
genes.
didn't have confidence. See, to do what you did, it takes confidence. To do what your daughter did, it takes confidence. I don't have no confidence, zero. The bar is at zero at confidence. So I will never quit a job, never.
Well,
I just let the job
I'm
quit
sorry
me.
about that. So you've never quit a job?
Never
So
in my life.
you've
Only
only
for
been
better
fired.
opportunities. I
Oh, okay. Well,
resigned with 2 weeks,
yeah. Well, that's
notice
what I did.
properly.
I left La Rosa's for a better opportunity. I just didn't know what the
Yeah,
opportunity
but
was
not
yet.
no, but I never quit. I say 2 weeks notice, I'm gone.
Well, I know that sometimes quitting in certain situations. I've never quit in sports. I've never left a game because I was losing. None of the shit. But in life, it's a little bit different. Reality is what it is. And I wasn't going to work there just under principle. Nah, I wasn't out like that. I could have no money and I could just sit back and, you know, I could just not have any money before I go do some shit that's just not in me to do, bro.
But listen, remember, I died when I came back. What I'm doing now,
Mm-hmm.
I would have never probably did in my previous life. But I would have felt it was beneath me. But I'm so happy to be alive and breathing and walking that it don't matter what I do, long as I can pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? Watch the fire stick, eat good. What more do you want?
Yeah,
That's
well,
all
we're
you
talking.
need.
Okay, well, okay. I get it from your point of view.
You
You're a
have to,
grown ass.
yeah, to
You're
die. So when you die, you got to remember, you be like, God, let me come back. I'll do anything. So you would do the worst thing just to come back to life.
Oh man.
That's
Okay,
what
CK.
life is
All
now.
right, bro. Hey man, I appreciate you tapping in with us today, bro. I'm tapped out right now, though. I gotta go. I appreciate you tapping in with us, though, bro. I appreciate you engaging and giving us that lesson.
Yeah, man, you gotta understand, man. Keep praying, because that was a grandmother prayer that got you out that office with nobody seeing you.
Okay.
That was a grandma prayer when you ran out that office, out the bathroom, with nobody out there. Peace to the fam.
Okay, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate your encouragement. This motherfucker here. Boy, he said I ran out of the bathroom, out the office. He made up some shit. Now, ain't nobody heard me say nothing like I ran out of the bathroom, ran through the office, got a transfer when I got on the bus. He be making up shit. CK different, bro. I love him to death, but when sometimes it get a little outrageous, I'll be like, see, bro, come on, man. Like, that shit crazy what you just said. I don't know. In my cup. Piece of hair in my cup. Shit in there. Anyway. Yeah, CK the wildest for that one. Sometimes I can go sometime, you know. Shaba, he says, I effed up in 2004. Look at me now, never played victim. I just put the bottle down. Shout out to Shaba. Put that bottle down, bro. That shit ain't nothing in there. But ain't nothing in there. You know that by now. You talking 2004. That's 20 years. You talking 21 years ago, bro. Shout out to Shaba. Damn. It's big to tell our vices. You know, sometimes a lot of people have a problem with knowing when we have a problem. So, you know, or telling people we have a problem. Fame, he said, just got here. What y'all fake mad about today? I ain't fake mad about nothing. I ain't never he talking to y'all. Fame, no, I don't be fake mad about nothing. That's sometimes I get passionate about some of the things, but it ain't never no fake shit. Since Fame is here, let me just say this. I was gonna make this announcement, which is crazy. I tell you what I'm mad about right now, Fame, if you still here. I'm mad about this fight that just got announced. I ain't gonna talk the fight game, I promise you. But I didn't know if this shit was real. I didn't know if Nephew took this fight or not. Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. This shit right here, I did not know that this was real until Netflix put it out. Once Netflix put it out, then I said, oh shit, this is real. It's going to be at the State Farm Arena in Atlanta, Georgia, November the 14th. Well, I'm not going to go. I don't know. Unless I get a certain phone call or somebody, you know, reach out or something, I might go. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like what boxing has come to. Look, I'm not mad at Jake Paul. I'm not mad at Tank Davis. I'm not mad at those guys because if the crowd is there and if the money is there, why not? Fame said Jake Paul versus Tank Davis getting $30 and $50 million. I'd fight a bear for either one of those numbers. Just tell my family I love them and send the check to them in the mail. So I'm not mad because I understand it's about the business. And I understand that a lot of these guys will never make $30 million in a lifetime of fighting or $50 million in a lifetime of fighting. It looked like they make that kind of money, but they don't. Buddy of mine, Steve, asked me some time ago, what you think about this fight? And I said, it ain't gonna never happen. Tank too small. Jake Paul is a heavyweight. Or, you know, yeah, he fought Mike Tyson. The hell? He's fought big dudes. Gervonta Davis is 130 pounds, 135. He's never even fought at 140. I don't think he's fought at 147 yet. So he gonna skip 142. He gonna skip 147. He gonna skip 154. He gonna skip 160. Or is Jake Paul coming down to 154 from damn near 200 pounds? I don't get this. I get the money. I understand. I get it. But it's got to be like it has to be let me see. No, it don't say it on there, but it has to be an exhibition because there's no, I mean, I don't think Georgia would even sanction a real fight with the weight difference and the class difference. I don't think that somebody with the professional record of Tank Davis would even get approved fighting a guy who doesn't even have a professional record. Jake Paul is not a professional fighter. Like, he doesn't have a professional record. All those fights you see on him, unless I don't know something, because I don't keep up with him like that, that fight with him and Mike Tyson was an exhibition. That was not a sanctioned fight. And somebody in the fight game on the business end of it, I know that you can't get a fight approved by a sanctioning body, especially a state. You can't get a fight done. A guy that's what is Tank? 20 and 0, 21 and 0, 20. He's in his 20s. like 25, 30, almost 30 fights and like 30-0 or some shit. Somebody could put it in the screen. But Jake, even if Jake Paul was, he don't have a professional fight. It has to be an exhibition. So it doesn't make any sense from the boxing point of view. From the financial point of view, shit. Put me on the retail side. Let's get it. But the fight, here's what's gonna happen. If y'all want to hear it, I'll tell you. If you want to hear what's gonna happen, I'm gonna tell you. Tank gonna beat him. Tank ain't gonna lose to a guy who doesn't have that skill set. Tank is a very skilled fighter. I know a lot of y'all probably don't know. You think that he's been fighting chumps and this. Nephew gonna beat this dude. He's gonna beat Jake Paul because he's not gonna get hit by a dude that hits harder than him. He's slick enough to get out of there. He's slick enough to get his hits in. He pivots well. Tank is a really good fighter. And anybody that disputes that, we can debate it anytime, on air, off air, whatever. Tank is not some bullshit ass fighter. He's very skilled. Nephew is very skilled, okay? Just he makes his fights look easy. But he's not going to lose to this dude. I don't think he's going to knock him out. He's not going to beat him like he's beat the majority of his opposition, but he's not going to lose to Jake Paul. Jake Paul is not going to be able to outbox Tank. Tank's not going to go in there and slug with him. Okay, if y'all looking for him to stand in the pocket and go toe-to-toe with Jake Paul, that's not what's going to happen. He's going to jab him to death. He's going to beat Jake Paul the same way that Floyd Mayweather would beat him. You understand what I'm saying? If Jake Paul was to fight someone like Floyd Mayweather would embarrass Jake Paul. He would embarrass him. And I'm going to tell y'all something right now, and I don't want to take the power out of the punch of the fight for you, okay? Mark my words. Tank Davis is going to embarrass Jake Paul. He's going to embarrass him. He's going to pick him apart. He's going to make him look like a big dummy. Y'all know those fights where the dude be like, rah, and he just miss. He's swinging at the air, rah. He going to make Jake Paul look like that. He's not going to stand in the pocket. Some of you, if you don't like boxing, you might find that fight. And I don't want to take no money out of Nephew pocket, okay? But if you don't like boxing, you might not like this fight. If you love boxing and you like boxing and you understand what the sport is, you're going to love the fight because you're going to see him pick him apart. But if you're thinking that you're about to go in there and see two warriors go at, that ain't gonna happen. You understand? Like, you're not about to watch that kind of fight. But if you love boxing, you'll love the fight that they're going to have if you're a boxing guy. If you love the art of the jab, if you love the art of the pivots and getting around, and if you love the fact that, you swing at me once and I hit you, I tap you twice, if you love that type of stuff, you'll love that fight. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, good afternoon. It's Edsel.
Hey, Edsel, how you doing today?
Unpleasant, per usual. Hey, what was it, 1918 or 19, whatever it was, 1921, where the heavyweight champion of the world was John L. Sullivan. And he made the famous statement, "I can lick any son bitch alive." And that's what Jake Paul's trying to claim that he can do. But he's paying, people off, and he's taking clear mismatches. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's supposed to he's supposed to be able to beat Tank with the modest background and 60, 70 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I do.
Like, I know Tank is, in a different level, quality fighter than your best lightweight or whatever. But still, that's 60 pounds heavier coming to hit you.
Yeah.
You know, glancing you might leave him wobbled.
Well, yeah, you may have a point there. However, that's where the skills come in, because skills pay the bills in the sport of boxing. And
I believe that.
And the thing is bro, like I just said, Fame, that this guy's gonna be swinging at air, because Tank is very calculated, and it's not just his punches. He don't throw a lot of wasteful punches, but what Tank is very good at is anticipating the punches that are coming at him. He's just like Floyd in that case. Okay, he doesn't have the same defense as Floyd's, but he has the instincts of Floyd, like that. He can see. It doesn't take him long. It takes him about 3 rounds, maybe 4, to figure out your strengths and your weaknesses. And what he does is he takes your weaknesses, he takes your strengths away and turn them into your weaknesses. And he make you beat him with your weaknesses. Jake Paul is not, he's not a seasoned fighter. He can't make the audibles. He can't make the chains ups on the shift and on the fly like a real fighter can. He's not going to be able to beat Tank, not even with the weight differential. He's not. See, the weight differential plays a part if Tank is, and I'm not going to say nephew dumb, but if he's dumb enough to sit in the pocket and go toe to toe, then the weight is going to wear him out and he's going to lose. He's smarter than that. He's not going to lose this fight by doing it the way Jake Paul needs him to fight. All right. And if he does, then I'll say, well, nephew took the money. If he sit there and try to, you know, swing from the pocket, sit back, absorb punches and all that old shit, then I'll say it tonight. I'll tell you. Tank is from Baltimore, and I know him personally, and he's very proud. He's a proud person. He's not going to go in there for the money to lose. Like, you can't pay him off. And last thing before you take over the conversation is this. Jake Paul would have never beat a 30-year-old Mike Tyson. He can beat a 55. He can beat a 55, damn near 60-year-old Mike Tyson. Because Mike went in there damn near beat up before the bell rung on round 1. He smokes, he drinks, you know, he doesn't treat his body like a fighter. And that was one of the easiest high-profile fights that Jake Paul. I know Jake Paul's been in the ring with fighters that would give him more of a problem than Mike Tyson. That was not Mike Tyson who we seen, not Mike Tyson the fighter. That was Mike Tyson the celebrity that he fought. You feel me? What you got on that?
No, you're 100% right. That's why, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the fact that boxing would even stoop this low to allow this clown into your sport, to, you know, have rigged fights and basically make it battle of the network stars every fight he has, you know, celebrity fights and all that corny shit.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Isn't that the fault of boxing for allowing that?
Well,
you know, all the promoters fighting with each other, not nobody's fighting.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you take that 80s class of 4 guys. We know why they were fighting. Because the rent was due. Wasn't no money out there, but at the same time, they was out there, you know, getting busy. And getting busy with the best. Because they wanted to prove that they was the best. You see what I'm saying? These guys just want to just grab a little, you know, grab some coin and floss on Instagram.
But when the numbers are this big, can you blame them?
I mean, it's kind of Floyd too, you know, just kind of, you know, just showing it's about business.
Let me say this to you. Let me say this to you. I've said it probably publicly twice in my life, I believe on the platform. Listen, I hate to say this because I'm an 80s fight fan. I began my love for the sport of boxing began in the 80s. My favorite fighter back in the day used to be well, of course, Muhammad Ali, but my favorite fighter was Muhammad Ali, but my favorite person in sport of boxing was Sugar Ray Leonard. I hadn't seen anybody that flamboyant, that fast. He was everything that I wanted to be as a fighter myself. It didn't work out for me because when people start, you know, bags don't hit back. So in the gym, I was sharp, Fame. But when shit start coming back at me, that's a different thing. But that being said, Muhammad Ali was my all-time favorite. Sugar Ray Leonard was my guy. That was my favorite fighter ever. But then after Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather. Actually, before Floyd Mayweather, it was Roy. You know, me and Roy are friends, and he know where I am with this. I will always love him. But my favorite fighter of all time, and I hate to say it because I told my man, you know, has been Floyd Mayweather's 50-0. It's because of his calculated moves, his defense, what he does, his lifestyle, how he treats the sport of boxing, not the business part, the work ethic of it. I don't know any other person that has been, you see what I'm saying? I don't know anybody that goes to the club, drinks water, drinks apple juice, and then runs back to his home from the club at 3 o'clock in the morning. He jogs 10 miles at 3 o'clock in the morning to get back to his home. I mean, that's just not, that's how all these fighters should have been living, but that's not how they live. Floyd made $1 billion in the sport of boxing. That messed up the sport of boxing. Okay, I'll be on, for as much as I love him, I'm going to tell you that he's part of the ruins of boxing. He has a huge part in why the boxing game is messed up right now, him and his partner. And unfortunately, his partner is Al Heyman. Al Heyman, who is Tank's manager, they have ruined the sport of boxing. And here's the repercussions of not allowing the best to fight the best like they did, Sugar Ray and Marvin Hagler and all the other guys. They all fought the best in their primes at their time, during their times, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting that now because you have the top ranks, you have the PBCs, you got Oscar De La Hoya's, Golden Boy. All these promotion companies get a hold of their guys, and then they don't want to ruin their brand by making their best fighter fight another brand's best fighter. They want to try to keep the money in house and fight their guys against guys that'll create checks. Okay, makes sense business wise, but it hurts the fan base. And then what happens now is you get this guy named Jake Paul who creates an exhibition brand. And the only reason why he's able to do what he's been able to do is because boxing wasn't acting right. I can't be mad at Jake Paul. He went where there was a need for excitement in a sport. He took over the sport of boxing by presenting something and being part of something that people really wanted to see. And that was excitement back in the fight game. Boxing lost itself. Jake Paul just fulfilled a need for the fan. He didn't create boxing. There's nothing that he's doing new other than just putting on fights that's interesting to people that's willing to pay. That's it.
Right. I hate to make such a hard turn, but I saw a video. I saw Stefan Pryor's live. And he had Damon Lynch out there, and I guess some rally down at Fountain Square today.
I heard about it.
And my stomach churned watching that.
Really? You're going to have to help me.
Motherfucking 2025. Y'all still doing rally marches? Corny shit like that?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Just for the record, so you'll know, I didn't see it. I knew that it was going to exist. I didn't watch it. I knew of a couple of different people that had it streaming. I'm not interested. You feel me? So you're going to have to help me on what actually happened, because what's new about that? I mean, what we talking about? I seen a clip. Matter of fact, I did burn a clip. If you don't mind, I want to put it on the screen. It's not a clip. It's just it's a clipping of a news article, because I put it in the Wyatt Live Messenger group this morning. I don't know if you actually seen it, but it's saying Black leaders organize rally to counter Republican message on Cincinnati crime. So that's the meeting they were talking about on the square, I'm assuming, or, wherever it was. I thought it was downtown. Is that the one you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So they were talking about how Republicans are making the crime. Oh, they're exaggerating the crime in the city of Cincinnati. That's basically what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I didn't see the meeting. I didn't watch it. I'm just asking because I did put this in the Cincinnati in a Wyatt Live Messenger group that they were going to be talking about the crime in the city of Cincinnati, and I'm confused a little bit because this is dated today, August the 21st, 2025. This was in Cincinnati.com. It came to me this morning. Okay, I'm a little confused why they would show that, or why they would be down there blaming Republicans on upping the crime or making the crime seem like that is not there. And Fame, I'm watching Cincinnati News this morning on Channel 19 on my V-Box, and bro, I didn't know you were going to call. This just happened to be a perfect call. I mean, for me to get this point out. I'm watching the news, and Cincinnati Police Department puts the new crime data out this morning. And it said, and it was 8:05 this morning. I made sure I took a screenshot of my, from the V-Box. 8:05 this morning, it says CPD, new crime data. Crime increasing citywide. downtown and OTR. Aggravated assaults up 47%. Robberies up 64%. All property crimes up 45%. So who's making up what Republican or whoever? What are they talking about down there, bro? If this is what the crime data is telling them right now, who's making this up? What are they talking about?
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's your boy. You know, that's the weed dealing preacher Lynch, and the Black Boule just sparking up stuff. Cause my thing is, marched at the judge's house when they jammed up Tracy Hunter. You marched on his street. You've done every damn type of march possible. At some point, either need to put hands on folks to get what you want, or find a way to acquiesce and live a nice lifestyle. Because just that aesthetic of rallies and speaker phones and all that, it's so played out for me anyway. I can't speak for everybody, but just speaking for me, I think of that and I see people getting their wigs split, crossing bridges, all that turmoil from the 50s. And it's like, y'all still doing that, trying to get a point across. You don't realize that didn't work. They've made all the laws they're going to make for black people.
Man,
at this point, you want what you want. You got to go snatch it.
Listen, bro, there's a whole lot of other conversations that could be going on to get equity in a city, especially when you control all the equity outlets. You control all of it. I don't want to hear people talk about it ain't fair when you control the fair. Now, I'm not saying that 100% they own everything 100% or they control everything 100%. You can't stop a bad cop from doing something for somebody, illegally pulling them over or some shit like that. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about equity. I'm talking about equity in a city. I'm talking about a city that could have a whole bunch of different businesses. Look, I'm looking at a city that has a bunch of dormant buildings downtown. All right. I'm looking at a city where here I am doing a podcast trying to tell people, hey, together, if you know some people, we could get a steak and shake. What about putting a steak and shake maybe in the downtown Cincinnati? But you don't even have a McDonald's in the downtown Cincinnati. Most major cities have a McDonald's. I was watching the news last night, and they're talking about a Japanese steakhouse that's opening up in downtown Covington across the bridge from Cincinnati. What in the hell is a steakhouse, Japanese steakhouse, that's looking like the one in Vegas, they said? Why is that opening up in downtown Covington versus a metropolitan city within walking distance right across the bridge? That shows you, to me, economically, there's a whole lot of misfortune from a major city when they go over across the bridge and open up in a small town versus a major city. That's what I see there. Instead, I just think that the focus is all wrong. And that's cool because you can only miss so many times before I believe you're deliberately missing because that's all you have. Do you understand what I'm saying, Fame? Like, I can't say that you maybe, okay, I don't mean you, but I like if a guy keep telling me that he can't get a girl, but he keeps shooting his shot, eventually I got to ask him, bro, do you really want a woman? Because eventually one's going to believe what you're saying and you're going to be a nice fit for that woman. There's somebody out there for everybody, right? But at a certain point, I got the question, bro, do you really even want a woman? Or, you know what I'm saying? Because you're just missing too much. And that's how I feel about that situation. You can't go this long shooting this many bad shots without looking like you're deliberately trying to miss.
Unless you're in the Black Boule.
That's what I'm talking about.
You see what I'm saying?
I hear exactly what you're saying. Because if the only move you have is to try to make people feel like you're there for them, but yet you're helping them miss, then yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
Right. Well, yeah, let me hop off here because it ain't got to, after school park time.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you.
I'll holler at y'all soon, but I don't want to scare the children by howling, but just know that
wait a minute, hold on. The children don't
wolf will be on your back.
Wait a minute, hold on. How's a wolf gonna have wolf kids and the kids don't wolf? They don't howl either. That don't make no sense.
There's random kids here. I don't want to do that. There's
Okay.
random kids
All
here.
right,
I'm like,
brother.
about 100 kids at this park, but y'all know that there's a wolf on your back. That's all I'm saying.
All right, brother.
Be safe.
You too. Thanks for engaging with us. That was Fame, Etzel, all the other names that he go by. Yeah, I didn't open up the can of that today, but since he had said something, I had some stuff already on deck. And I'm like, how y'all down there talking? And I don't know, bro. I didn't see the video. I mean, I didn't see any of it, so I'm not even going to address it. I'm not going to, I don't know. I'm not going to critique it. I haven't seen it. But I just know what the news article said in Cincinnati.com. I'll put it on the screen once again. I'm a little confused. I am a little confused of what they're talking about. It says Black leaders rally to counter Republican message on Cincinnati crime. This is published this morning, 12:31 a.m., August the 21st, 2025. And I know for a fact that they were down there. I didn't watch any of it. And I don't have a problem with it. I just don't know what they're talking about. I don't get it, because I don't think that the crime is being made up. And I don't think that Cincinnati Police Department, which you would have to say the chief, she runs the police department. I would say that after all the stuff that's been happening, she's pretty much been on the side of the community from all this time. She's been on the force after just this one incident. This is the only thing that y'all could ever complain about this particular chief. This is it. And one thing that happens that you don't have all the information of, that she's privileged to see, the 3CDC cameras and all the stuff that's, that you're not privileged to see. She knows the information. And now all of a sudden she ain't shit. I don't get it. I don't understand how y'all so cold on people so fast. Now, I'm not taking up for her. I'm just speaking what I see. I'm not about to listen. I'm not, look, like I said, I didn't see the rally. I didn't see it. But I knew it was coming. Don't act like I didn't say that they was about to dust off some of them old school people and they was going to be out there. We shall overcome it. I just said it yesterday, and I didn't know anything about a meeting. I knew the shit was coming. This is what they do. This is the effectiveness. This is why you go out and you boycott Target and you get certain people involved. This ain't for you. It's sad to be. This is for other people. This is their moves. This is the shit they do to be who they are. That's all I can say about that. I don't need to hear another oppressed ass situation. We're oppressed. I don't need to hear that shit. If they ain't helping me get no money, I ain't trying to hear that shit. And it ain't about the money. I'm talking about position, equity. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. Y'all can stay dazed up, laid up on that shit all you want to. I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. It ain't for me. Nobody invited me because they know I ain't on it. They know I ain't nobody to invite. I just be sitting in there with my motherfucking lips twisted. I know better. Sorry. This is where I lose a few people, but I ain't on that shit, bro. We over here doing something different. I ain't on that, man. Come on, bro. Just follow the money, follow the trail, follow who's involved, see who getting what. Look at the licks, look at the picks. All you got to do is that, bro. I ain't on that shit no more. I really wish, and I love Fame, I wish he would not have even brought that up. Three weeks ago, I told you, here's how it's going to play out. And this is the last time I'm going to say it, unless today is the last time. 3 weeks ago, I told you, if they charge this Russian dude, they're going to charge him with a misdemeanor. It's going to be a DC. Okay, go back and watch the films or the clips. I don't want to be that guy to go back and bring his own clips to the show and say, see, look at what I said. I don't want to do that, but I will tell you what I said. 3 weeks ago, I told you, if they charge him, it's going to be a DC, And then y'all gonna have y'all old school people out there mad because they charged him with a disorderly conduct. And now it's gonna be a whole different kind of conversation. They charged him accordingly to what he did. Okay, and then they're gonna be down there with the signs. Y'all remember that? The signs and all this old shit talking about we injustice and no peace and all that. I told you this was gonna happen because that's the play. I do too, Sierra. Trust me. I could have laid out with this on the show. There'd be a whole lot more people here listening to it because they love it when I go against the grain of the people in the, in certain spots. They love it. People who don't want to watch love to hear my point of views of this type of stuff. They know I'm right about it. They just don't want to be affiliated with it. Trust me. Sierra, what we've been talking about for 2 hours on the show, I'd rather have those conversations. Trust me, I really would. So blame Fame for me opening up this can of I told you so. There ain't nobody been talking about, oh, the preacher's going to be coming, because y'all didn't think he was going to get charged. I told you, I said, what would you rather do? 2 weeks ago, I said, would you rather this man get charged or not be charged? Because y'all going to be mad either way. Because if they charge him, they're going to charge him with a low-level misdemeanor. And here come the preachers and everybody else that's going to come out here talking about this is not right, and he got charged much less. He's looking at a fine, and everybody else looking at 30 years. I told y'all this is the play though, because this is how some people stay relevant in situations. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something you ain't gonna want to hear. It's too many black folks in Cincinnati getting money for me to believe that Cincinnati is against black folks. Sorry. Too many black folks in Cincinnati just doing well, doing real good. So you take that and you take it for whatever you want. I believe in my people way more than the shit y'all be talking about. My people ain't on this. They ain't on that. The people that I know have secure jobs, take care of their family, got kids, support the communities. They out in here in the community doing shit. They volunteering. They get in the bag. They ain't on this shit. But everybody play their own role. They play their own role. So if your role is to be in the community and just continuously blow up this narrative of what's wrong with the community and what's wrong and how we being misled and all that, if that's your role, you play your role. But look, you choose to be an audience of this shit if you want to. When you go to the Showcase 12, they got 12 screens in that building. You choose what you want to go see. Just like I tell you on these podcasts, if you don't want to be here and listen to what I say, bro, it's a million places that you can go. Why come into a screen that's not for you? Why come in and sit down in a seat and watch a movie or watch a podcast that you don't even like? Why do that? Weeks ago. This has already been written out. So it is what it is. I'm not going to revisit it. I'm going to let it do what it do. You still got people out here talking about what happened and they don't have any idea what really happened. They don't have the video. They don't have the evidence that the prosecutor has. They don't have any of that. And they sitting out here talking about how somebody been done wrong. You don't even know. What kind of leadership is that? And then here comes Cincinnati Police Department telling you in the news where they've been holding back, obviously. They've been holding back because you wasn't hearing this before. Crime is increasing. Citywide, downtown and OTR. Now, my question to you is who suffers the most in these two areas? Who suffers the most in the downtown and OTR areas? When aggravated assaults are up 47%. When aggravated assaults are 47%, robberies at 64%, and property crimes are up 45%. Who suffers the most in those areas, in those neighborhoods? Okay. That's the point that I've been trying to make the whole time. Is it's funny how crime is down and all that old shit. Nobody in certain areas feel like crime is down. They don't feel like crime is down. And you can sit back. We had this conversation yesterday. People want to sit back and minimize and try to pretend that somebody's using bruh. Come on, man. Try to go tell that lady who lost her daughter, the 35-year-old woman with 5 kids. Go tell her family that crime is down. You know what? I want somebody to answer this for me, if you don't mind. You know, the lady that started a lot of this was the lady who lost her husband. She lost her husband by a guy who was out on, I guess, parole. He cut his ankle bracelet off. They live in OTR. I don't know if y'all seen this lady. I don't know if y'all know who I'm talking about. She lost her husband. They owned a business in OTR. They owned a property in OTR that they lived in. And I'm just going to say this. I don't know if it's tasteful or not, but I'm going to say it. And I don't mean this to be disrespectful to her at all. Okay? I really don't. I'm sorry for the loss of her loved one. I'm sorry for the loss of her husband. And I'm sorry for the things that she has to go through. But I want to ask a question. She fits the profile. She fits the profile of a white woman who's a liberal. Mohawk type shave, tattoos, nose ring. Not that I think that that's bad, but she fits the profile of a white woman who's a liberal. My question to her, and it's very untasteful, but I guess I have to take it. I'm just curious. Maybe someone knows her. My question to her today would be, do you feel the same way? Thank you, Carolyn. She says, Sarah Herring. I wonder if she was, because she's not anymore, obviously, by the way she's going about her business with the loss of her husband. I wonder if she was one of those white liberals that always talked about what she was talking about the neighborhoods. You feel what I'm saying? I wonder if she was that. And the reason why I say that is because those are the same ones that act like nothing's wrong. You know, the type that'll walk down the street by themselves, walking their dog, and get victimized, and then want to turn around and talk about victimization and this and that because they've been convinced, and then they try to convince others that it's safe in certain places. Do you understand what y'all know what I'm talking about? Because that's usually who get victimized in bad neighborhoods are people who thought a certain way, a certain kind of way. Now, they don't have no problem calling us certain things, so I don't have no problem returning the serve. All right? I'm just being honest with you. I would put my money, and she could probably call me or whatever, and I don't want to be disrespectful. This is a her thing, not a husband thing, but they seem to be very cool people. Had no problem interacting and living amongst anybody. That's the type of person that come down to the hood and buy property. Why would you buy property in the highest crime district in a city if you're not a liberal? What racist or what person that don't like black people buy property in a high crime area and the majority of the people in the neighborhood are black? That just don't happen. White liberals do that. But now y'all mad at her because she's running around in the circles of the people that's trying to clean up the crime now. Like she's running around with Christopher Smitherman. She's running around with Bernie, with Vivek and all those guys. She's at their presentations. So now let me ask you, if she was a liberal 2-3 years ago, she ain't no more. She's not anymore. She's not, she don't believe what she used to believe, because what she believes now is that crime shouldn't be in this area. I'm a victim of it. I'm a victim. I lost my husband. And like I told y'all, and I mean this sincerely on my mama, I'm sorry about what happened with her husband. But I truly believe that in order to put yourself in a position like that, you have to drink the Kool-Aid and buy into the brand of ain't nothing wrong with living right here. We all cool, kumbaya, and all that old stuff. I bet it's some regret. There's a whole lot of anger, a whole lot of sadness from her. But I bet you there's some regret in her head and in her mind. Why did I even go down there? Why did I even decide to open a business and live in an area that's not safe? She ain't gonna never say that out loud. She's never going to say that out loud. But I know it's going through her mind because it's going through her people mind. It's going through her family mind. It's like why would T. Higgins or Jamar Chase, or both of them, why would they go buy a condo on Vine Street? Everybody on here think they crazy as hell. I seen a video of T. Higgins hanging out down in OTR. And the first thing came to my mind is something gonna happen to him. Who is his handlers? He better get his ass. He trying to be cool. Oh yeah, what up, bro? That let me know you ain't from this life. You not hanging like that. Even Pac-Man didn't hang out like that. And Pac-Man one of them. Pac-Man he Atlanta boy. He's one of them. You feel me? Like he would hang out. He know better. Vernon Jordan said, I'm not convinced that she was necessarily a liberal. She and her husband could have bought the property believing that it was a good investment. Only a liberal would think that in a high crime area. I'm just giving you my opinion, bro, because I don't think that a conservative person, I just don't think that that's how they move. Like, I don't think that's how they move, bro. I just don't think that. I know that, and here's the other thing, Vernon, it ain't just the move. You feel me, bro? Like, you know what I'm talking. It's not just the property purchase, because that could have been an investment. It could have been a great deal, and it could have influenced a little bit. That might have been, that might have had something to do with it. But it's how she looked too, bro. Let's be honest, man. I know we ain't got no business judging and all that old stuff, but sometimes the way people present themselves tell you who they are. Tattoos and stuff like that are kind of descriptions of people's personality, right? Don't nobody put just a tattoo on them that don't have any meaning. I don't know of anybody that put tattoos on them that don't mean anything. You feel me? Like, everybody that's into the tattoo game, they got multiple tattoos. That is art on their body, and it means something. Having half a shaved head and all your hair going over to the side and tattoos on the neck and the rings in the nose, all that stuff means something. It's not just there. There's art. Art has its own description, right? I look at a piece of art, it might mean something totally different to me than it means to you. The point of it is, she looks the part. I think her position may have changed. Yeah, I think her position may have changed. And I think that I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say this. Let me say this. I think, yeah, there you go. Princess Flower, I know. She said, yes, my tattoos mean something. You didn't just do them for nothing. Yeah, you went all these years, didn't even have no tattoos. You might have had one or two here and there, but for the last few years, you've been going crazy with it because life changes. Life has new meaning, and we define ourselves through these new meanings different kind of ways. I love you to death, girl. You know I do. Ain't got no problem with your tats. But you don't do it just for nothing. And to be honest with you, I don't know where all your tattoos are. I know where some in plain sight. But if I was to see your tattoos, I could probably figure out some of the things that you've done in life and going through in life, and what represents you in life, and the love with you and your daughter, all of that. I got another female friend. She has a tattoo on her arm right here. Her and her daughter got a tattoo right there, and it's something that connects them. Oh, Donnie, you ain't got no damn tattoos. I'm just playing. I don't know. I never seen Donnie's tattoos. We were little. I don't know. But that all being said, I could be completely wrong. That's just my take. That's why we here today. We here to get takes and ideas. But I'll just be honest with you and tell you, I wasn't on that going down and talk about, these. I ain't on that shit, bro. I had no idea talking. I didn't want to talk about it today. I just burned it on my system because I knew eventually, I would have a conversation about it, because y'all got to understand this whole brawl thing when all the information come out, just like I did the Breonna Taylor situation. All right. A lot of people was wondering, oh, Wyatt's not doing a show on Breonna Taylor because he now sees how dirty the police is. And all they did was just go shoot that. They knocked on the door and just shot in the door and killed that girl. And I knew it was way more to it than that. And I knew that the dude she was messing with, see, I got to understand, like, we're easily fooled by shit because we're emotionally attached to one situation that happens across the country. And then something similar across the whole United States of America can happen another part of the country. And we attach those two situations together, and it's two different situations. That's how it started, how it ends. Well, it started one way, but it might have a similar ending. And we attach these two things together. Only us, we're the only ones that do shit like that. We're the only ones that think that everything that happens to us, it happens to us intentionally. It's funny because those same think tanks, they think that way. It's always us when something happens. But when we do something to somebody, we want to say, look at them who did that to them. We all didn't do that to somebody. Black people won't rob and steal. Not all of us do that. See, we can't have it both ways. It can't be us and then it's them. We all gonna be together at the same time, or we're not. No, it sounds crazy, but imagine what it sounds like when people standing up saying, look at how they treat us. They always treating us like this. They always treating us like this. And then when we go off and do something to a motherfucker, it wasn't us, it was them. I'm not embarrassed that they did that. That was them. They should see them as isolated people. You don't see them as isolated people when we get done in some kind of way. You look at it as a group thing. It's just, you can't have it both ways. And unfortunately, I'm just one of those that'll say the shit out loud. A lot of y'all know what it is. You just don't admit it. You just don't go with it. You just go with what you've been going with all these years because that's what you know. Oh, you know better. The problem is this. I'm going to say it. And I'm going to get a lot of flack for this. Probably from other ethnic groups. I know why we the way we are, because there's no other group of people in this world that are more passionate and we have more heart and we care more than any group of people on this planet. And that's why we get so emotionally attached to these arguments. And that's why we so much want to find the enemy and make a person an enemy so we can try to get rid of the enemy. Unfortunately, our heart is so big and we care so much that we will fall for things that will lead us to victory when you're being led by someone that is not trying to take you to victory. They're trying to take you where they need you to be so they can benefit. It's been proven so many times. We just don't want to accept it. We don't want to be the fool. So the best way to not be the fool is, even when you get tricked, just pretend like it never happened. It's just like, I shouldn't say this one. I'll use guys because I was about to use ladies. A guy could go to his friends, his buddies, me and Vernon and let me see who else I got on here, fellas. Roz, let's see here. Let me get one more. Let me get one or two more. Let's see. Fame and Shaba. We at the Washington Park kicking it. My man Vernon says, yeah, I met this chick, man. Me and her been kicking it for about 2 months now. She don't have, she's beautiful, she's great, and blah, blah, blah. I've been kicking it with her for 2 months. I'm gonna introduce you to y'all, bro. We all gonna kick it with our women and blah, blah, blah. And Vernon says, man, you know what? Let's meet up next Tuesday at B-Dubs, and we all gonna kick it with our families, with the fellas and the girls. Watch the bingo game. Tuesday come. We all pull up with our wives, our women. Vernon, I hate to make it about you, bro. I'm just trying to use that as an example, because I'm just going to. Vernon pulls up, but he by himself. I walk up to Vernon. I'm like, Vernon, what happened, bro? Where's Shorty at that you've been talking about, that you've been with for 2 months, 2.5 months? Where's she at? Oh, man, the shit didn't work out. Didn't work out, man. She didn't want to come. So I was like, he might downplay her now, but he been talking her up for 2 months. He been with her for 2.5 months. He ain't gonna never tell me, Fame, and all the rest of us, man, she played me. She was getting my money. I was paying her phone bill, light bill. I was paying her kids' tuition. It ain't gonna this might not ever happen to you, but there's some dudes that know exactly what I'm talking about. They ain't gonna never come tell us she played me. He gonna tell me everything about this woman that I need to know that's really fucked up, but he ain't gonna never tell me how he got used and abused and got beat up on by this woman. He ain't gonna tell me she got me for my bucks. I did this, I did that. I bought the grocery. I did this, I did. He ain't gonna never tell me all of that. He might slide it through 6 months later, a little bit at a time. But Vernon gonna make it about she wasn't right for me. See what I'm saying? He gonna keep it on that level. He ain't gonna tell the truth. Not out the gate. Women, you ain't gonna never say that I dated Tyrone or Ty or I had Ricky for 4 months. Well, where Ricky at now? Oh, he wasn't right for me. He wasn't shit. You ain't gonna never say he was using you and almost got you kicked out your place because you was on the lease, all this. You ain't gonna never tell the truth about why Ricky ain't with you no more. It's always going to be Ricky wasn't shit. Ricky did this. Ricky wasn't this. Ricky wasn't. But you're not going to tell the truth about how he got over. You ain't going to tell that you paid Ricky child support. Girl, I was paying his child support and he was on, Ricky this. Don't tell the truth about what you went through with Ricky. And that's how I think people feel when they get played by these politicians and they see that the same old track coming around the train. Y'all like that train at Kings Island. That train been there for 30 years running that same route. And every time you get on that train, you see them same Indians and that same shit that you've been watching since you was a little boy. Nothing has changed, but it's still fun. Train. I ain't been on that train in 5 years. Let me jump on that train. Shit ain't changing. And some people, hell, the train is part of the ride. It's part of Kings Island. It ain't right if I don't get on the train, even though I didn't seen that. I didn't been on that, seen that damn same. I seen that same visual for 30 years. But some of us got to be part of something. It's part of the ride. Kings Island, how you gonna get on the train? Something happens in the city and they racialize it. And, I heard, oppressed and all this old shit. I'm like, oh, yeah, I ain't on this shit. I ain't about to listen to this shit. You can't say that a city is oppressing black folks when black folks own the city. And you know what I'm talking about. You got a black city manager, controls the budget, controls the money. They giving money to the shit that you don't even know where money going is supporting black situations. The same people that's sitting there talking all that old shit are forming organizations and getting money from certain people, and it don't benefit you at all. But they getting it. That's your leaders. Them your leaders. I really shouldn't even go here with it because I know how the shit work. Cincinnati is so slow to this shit. Y'all just don't see it yet. And some of you never will see it because you've been raised with blinders on. You go to a big city like New Orleans and see shit get exposed and certain people go to jail and you see how the money move, you will learn. But I ain't here to teach you. You might not want to know. Not everything that's happening in shit. There's some shit that I'm sure that didn't happen to me by people that love me. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know because I don't want to be hurt that bad. And to be honest with you, I just believe that's the case. Some of you act like the shot didn't hurt. Some of you act like shit ain't really wrong with what people doing because you don't want to be hurt. And you don't want to be that person that found out they've been playing me. I've been played. You don't want to know. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to know certain things. I went through life. I'm not going to say this whole thing, I promise you, because this is not the platform. This is not the show. This is not the time to bring it up. I went through something that I learned about my family, and I'm talking about my mom and my situation with my mother, not my wife, not my immediate family now. I learned something at 40 years old. I was 42 or 43 years old when I found out something about my relationship with my mother and my family, my family that I didn't want to know. I could have went through life without knowing that. Now, granted, after some time went by, I'm glad I knew. I'm glad that it was forced out. But it totally made me see things in people that I love different. And I'm not going to lie to you. I lost respect. I was hurt, crushed. I was embarrassed. Maybe one day, I don't know. Maybe one day I'll talk about it. I don't know. Not everything people want to know. And I think that that's what's going on here. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. I got 3 minutes before I go. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, it's your boy, Twin, man.
Twin, what's good, man? What's happening with you, bro?
Sitting here watching Coco Melon with my son, Peach, man.
Watching, what was that? Say it again.
Coco Melon.
What the hell is that?
It's a cartoon.
Oh, is that right? I never heard of it. Is it something new?
No, it's been out for years.
Been out?
Yeah, comes on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah, I never heard of it, bro. I'm well removed from those cartoon days.
Man, I try to watch sports and seems like he come gang banging on the TV everywhere I go. He gotta grab the remote and want me to turn to that crazy Coco Melon, man. So I gotta go by his commands and everything.
Okay. Sound like the boss has spoken.
Yeah. So they had a little We Shall Overcome meeting today. Protest or whatever.
You're gonna have to inform me, bro. Did you see it? I mean, I
knew about it. I heard it was coming, but you know what? I'm burnt out on that craziness, man. I don't. For people, like I told you yesterday, man. People think we in 1950s again, and Martin Luther King might, another Martin Luther King might come around, but man, it's crazy, man. I don't look at it like that. I just look at it like, man, what's wrong with us, man? In Cincinnati, y'all 5-10 years behind the game, man. And y'all need to just realize, man, this ain't it. I'm not about to sit here and just watch y'all come on down to the next Price is Right. You the next contestant type situation, man. I can't do that, man. Because just listen to this and it seems like it's deja vu all over again, why? But just in a new dimension, man. A 3D form.
Like, what do you mean when you say that? I'm curious. I hear you, but I think I know. I just want to be clear. What do you mean?
Why back then, when we was a shorty, used to watch, different movies and history about people back in the day and Martin Luther King and the rest of them, how they got beat with water hose and all that. But now here it is that y'all talking about, well, our ancestors, they stood up for you and this slavery and stuff and the march and all that. He just passed the torch to us. I'm saying, whenever y'all go stop talking about slavery, y'all talk about the brutality and all that, but y'all never talk about the good of who invented this or who invented that. Only thing I hear about is, well, they got hit with water hose and we overcame a lot because we couldn't vote and stuff. We had the right to vote and all that. Man, I don't want to hear about that. Is that what they were talking about,
Twin? Don't be making up
That's
shit.
trauma, huh?
I was asking. I'm sorry, I was reading text. Is that what they were talking about, bro? Or are you just kind of
this me. This Twin. I don't know what they talking about because I don't want to hear what they talking about because they not talking about nothing.
Okay. The reason why I asked that, Twin, is because I didn't see it. Okay. And
no, I didn't see it because I can imagine it and stuff. I like they weren't talking about nothing. Okay. You still talking about a damn fight. I don't want to hear that craziness, man. He's not going to get charged, and they know he's not going to get charged, so quit pump faking the community, man, the black folk. Quit pump faking, man. He's not going to get charged. Y'all just want to throw out a piece of crumb to shut y'all mouth like they always do. It's a soap opera, man. That's all it is, a soap opera from the government and on down. And yet they know black folks go off the soap opera and they like to be nosy. And that's what they throwing at y'all, man. To throw y'all off y'all square, man. That's all it is, White. It's a game, man. It's a puppy show. Which one go perform the best, man? That's all it is. And people don't realize that, man. Oh, they do this and, man, whatever. I ain't trying to hear the ignorance, man. Because it's stupid to me how black folks just downplay this and, man, it's weirdos out here, man. Straight weirdos and clowns.
Well, listen, let's what I'd like to do is find some common ground in the arguments. I'm not at a position. I'm not in a position to even have a conversation about what happened or what was talked about, because to be honest with you, Twin, maybe I can do it when I come back on Monday, because I'll probably watch, like Stefan, I had the video. I know he had it because I know he's there. So I can watch the video of what they're talking about. I don't think that my mind will change of what they're talking about, because it all stems from the brawl. It all stems from charges of the man. It all stems from economic. They have to say something about the crime, because that's what the article read, that the leaders were calling for something in regards to, how this crime is being looked at. I already have my perspective on that. They have to talk about oppressed Cincinnati, black oppressed Cincinnatians. That has to be part of the conversation. I guarantee you. None of that stuff is new to me in the circles that speak on that. So I don't know what they can say that's going to change my mind of how I feel about that situation. Okay.
And we've been oppressed for so long, as the Democrats played us for years, White. When are we go come out that nutshell, man? They've been talking about that for God knows when. Well, the game is over with, man.
I get it.
It's about accountability, White. People ain't taking that, man. This right here, White. This right here shows you. This is an example. This right here should lead us like, hey, y'all want our votes? And y'all say y'all for the people? And this when you bring up the definition of what? Democracy. What is that? Is that holding people accountable for their actions?
No. Democracy is
for the people, by the people, right?
Correct.
Okay. You holding people accountable. If I'm punching my ticket and stuff to lead you to whatever our needs and desire is for us as a whole or group, whatever you want to put, however you want to label it, man, you gotta be held accountable, fam. You pose a representative, and as you representative, and you got a slap and we all here with $300,000 murder bond, but he in Russia drinking vodka. You're not making no sense to the people, man.
Okay, so I think your argument, if I'm hearing this correct, is that you think that the person that slapped the other guy, there's like, this is an injustice going on right now. You feel like this guy should be facing the same situation that the others are facing. Is that your
that's
argument?
how right, to be honest, that's how the people want it.
Oh, but that's not,
whoever
but
started. If I go, hey, Wyatt, you ever been in school and been around a food fight?
not really, but go ahead. I know what a food fight is, but I ain't never been involved in
one. Okay, they want to, regardless of whoever throwing 50 sluggers of chili dog or hamburger, whatever, spaghetti, they want to know who really started this. And they go to the main source.
Okay.
And people really go point them out. Or little Ray over there start. Or little Billy the Thurs start. And then at the end of the day, Billy Ray or Ray, they go get charged. Or whatever, suspend or expel out of the situation, come down to it.
Okay.
But people want to look at it, Wyatt, as, hey, man, this would have never been a jump off. And you just took your drunk ass home, you and Holly, and whatever, in case the video may show really based on facts.
Okay. So let me
if it really shows that he really started this riot and the jump off would have never went further like this, Wyatt.
Okay.
That's the main source that the black folks want. No, y'all just not go hang them with no $300,000 bond. Okay. That's a murder case. No, he over there in Russia?
No, it's not. It's a third of a murder bond, just so you get it clear.
It's similar, close to it, Wyatt. 300,000 from 500,000.
Not even close.
Why come, Wyatt?
Because the average murder bond in America is $1 million. So I'm not gonna let you say that.
I said close enough to take off a half a C note, man.
If you think $300,000 is close to $1 million, it's
what's
not.
The highest bond one of them people got? 500,000, Wyatt?
Well, I'm not quite sure because there were multiple.
Whenever you know an assault case like that being $500,000, Wyatt, it's a damn statement they making off this. It might be a conspiracy, man, that they send the people there for political reasons or whatever. It might be, Wyatt. You never know. You never know.
Let me say something to you that I know because I've been in the business for 25 years. This is not the first time that a felonious assault charge has been charged with a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, or a $500,000.
Wyatt, I got a cousin right now on my mama in the Lewis Center right now. Her bond ain't even no $300,000 bond. It was damn near 50, and she stabbed her dude. She right there in Lewis Center pregnant. I think there's a Summit Lewis Center one right now. Why, as we speak. Okay. She right there, right? She ain't got no $500,000 bond or none of that.
Okay. Well,
yeah, man.
I just want you to know, Twin, that circumstances call for different certain situations, and unfortunately, you're speaking just like people who are misinformed about how these things work. And here's the thing: I want to go back to your food fight analogy. Can I?
That's your show.
Well, I'm just want to use your logic.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. What?
Let's just say that same food fight. That same food fight happens. Okay.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, you described it as if somebody walks in and they want to know who started it. And everybody that's involved in it says it was Twin. Now, let's take you out of it. It was Ray because you use Ray.
No, because I was part of that food fight. You can keep me in there.
Okay.
I ain't going. I was part of it.
I'll let you be in the food fight, Twin, for the sake of the argument. The food fight happens. Here come the principal when they want to know who started the food fight. And everybody says Ray started it. Ray and Twin started it. And there's cameras in the cafeteria where y'all started the food fight. Okay. Now, let's just say they already want to say it was you, Twin, and it was you and Ray that started this fight. Now, what would be the logical thing to do before I convict you or before I say, I'm going to believe everything that everybody said about Twin and Ray? Wouldn't you feel disrespect? Wouldn't you feel offended that the fact that if I'm the principal and I walk in there, I wouldn't go look at the film or the video to get the truth? Wouldn't you want to know what the truth was before everybody.
Sometimes they want they go off he say, she say.
Right.
And then once they go off there, oh, get them.
So based on your
And
democracy,
then based on and once you get the evidence and build that evidence up,
Twin, based on your argument of democracy, you say it's for the people by the people, right?
Yeah.
So you want democracy to mean for the people by the people, no matter what the facts are. You want the people, if the okay. So basically,
I'm agreeing. I'm saying okay.
No,
what you think?
I'm just making your argument. You're saying that if the people wanted to be Twin and Ray Ray started it, regardless of what the cameras may say, since it's a democracy, the people can make it. They can make that decision that it was you and Ray Ray. When the evidence on the video might say it was a dude named Tyrone who ran out the back and nobody knows anything about what really happened. It's just the democracy that you live in says that if enough people say that this is the way it happened, then damn it, that's the way it happened. Is that what you're trying to say a democracy is?
No.
Well, that's what you just described. And not only did you just describe that, you pretty much set the example of what's going on here. You're saying that since everybody said this and seen one video, and this is how it started, then that must be the truth. Versus other evidence that the prosecutor may have. I'm not saying the prosecutor is right or wrong. Matter of fact, I've said it every day. If they don't have the evidence that shows what they're saying in court, then I'm going to be heavy on their ass.
But when you got a people that you voted for and you hold them accountable, you got to hold them accountable about democracy and everything. You go by their word and you listen to them like, hey, they come out like, hey, you know, really deceiving the people like, hey, it seems like we got enough evidence that, yeah, the white boy really started. So you have to believe what you process.
No, you don't.
What you purchase.
No, you
by
don't.
their word. I don't know if it's true or not, Wyatt.
No, you don't.
It's based on what they give you.
You don't.
If them people that you got confidence in, like Wyatt or whatever, got confidence, man, Wyatt telling the truth, he was there and all that. But when the facts really come out, man, Wyatt just play ass niggas did me in and everything. Right. Then I'm like, man, man, you all went off your word. But I'm just going on what else. Man, that ain't true, Wyatt. Man, why you go play me like that, fam?
So
why you go play? So you play me like a dope fiend and everything. Okay. Run a game on me. That's how it is, man. So, it's a game, Wyatt. Right. It's a game.
Twin. So basically, your logic is right where I'm at right now when you explain it that way.
Oh yeah, I know how you was gonna break it down. I just gotta hold back a little bit. Maybe you can't shine on me. No, this your podcast. I ain't gonna let you outdo me.
That's not what's going on here, bro. Not at all.
I understand.
I'm trying to break it down in a different kind of scene because you're saying that people, if enough people say something is true, then it must be. All right, it has to be the truth. But if I have a video, if somebody said Twin went to the moon yesterday, but I have a video of Twin sitting on his couch eating Grippo potato chips, watching whatever cartoon it is. I have evidence. You could say all day that you went to the moon, and you could have 2,000 people saying you were on the moon yesterday as well. But I got the video showing that you're sitting on your couch watching.
But I have my trust in you and everything. Then, hey, Wyatt, I was at the moon.
I don't get that. I don't get what you're
saying.
But
when you look at it, Twin, you weren't at the moon.
Exactly.
Why you pump faking? You was right there on your couch. That's how people presented it and looked at it. They was going out the fact of as the city leaders and other people were leading them on.
Let me just ask you this.
This is what they get.
Let me just ask you this because I still don't know your position in this argument. I promise. I'm just being honest. I don't know where you are in this argument because you started out saying that the people believe if enough people say something is true, then it should be that way. But now here's my thing. And
it was the real moral to the story was accountability on the act of what you believe. If they present it to you and you got your trust in that person that you've been hanging around, that you've been that you've been pump faking like 30 years,
wait a minute,
on that roller coaster that you've been seeing at Kings Island, it's the same track that you've been running on. So I'm believing for 30 years on that track that is all good. That's what the moral to it.
Well,
it's a rebound of what you said, and I'm just flipping around in Twin scenario, in my opinion.
Twin, let me ask you a question. If I'm the principal,
go ahead, player. I'm sorry.
No, hold on. If I'm the principal of the food fight school, okay? And you and Lil Ray Ray was accused of starting the food fight. And I walk in and everybody say Twin started it, Ray Ray started it. And I just say, all right, I know that I have the cameras available in my office of what
He still
actually.
gonna go. He
Hold
gonna
on,
snatch up
Twin.
Ray Ray and Twin.
Don't jump in. I'm confused enough. I
All
just
right,
trying to get a
man.
better. I can clearly go to my office, and I can watch what happened. But instead of me doing that, I take the word of everybody in the cafeteria. I call, no offense, I know your mom is passed, but I'm just saying. I call your mom and I call Ray Ray's mom. And I say, Twin is suspended for 30 days. Ray Ray is suspended for 30 days. And your mom and Ray Ray mom says, well, how do you know my son did all of that? Because everybody in the democracy said he did it. Everybody said he did it. And you say, but mama, I didn't. Ray Ray say, but mama, I didn't. And I say, well, that's all right, because everybody said that you and Twin fight. Okay. I don't even do my due diligence and go back to my office and watch the video that could clear you or make you guilty. How would you feel as an individual if I don't go do my due diligence and go watch the video so I can either suspend you or I can clear you? But yet, instead of me going to watch the video, when it comes to the media and I go outside and I talk to all the parents because I got everybody bitching and complaining because their kids' new clothes at school got dirty and cake and pie and stuff all in their clothes. And I got to go and I go in front of I go in the auditorium and I tell all the parents, don't worry, folks, I got it all handled. I am going to make Twin's mother and Ray Ray's mother pay for everybody clothes to be dry cleaned. Everybody new shoes, includes school clothes and school shoes, will be cleaned because Twin and Ray Ray did it. But yet I got video I still haven't looked at. And now I'm running y'all name and making y'all out to be the people who started all of this. And I have still not done my due diligence. I mean, think about it. You're convicted before the evidence is out to either prove you guilty or innocent. And what I'm seeing is leaders, y'all might not, I don't know if y'all get this analogy. I'm seeing leaders that are making those same allegations of Twin and Ray Ray when they have not seen the evidence. All they seen or all they hear is what people are saying. They don't have the prosecutor's evidence. They shouldn't even be taking the position of Twin and Lil Ray Ray are guilty of doing what they did, and they need to be punished more than 30 days. They need to be out. They need to be expelled from school. They should never eat lunch at school again for all the shit that they did in this food fight. They saying all of that, and I haven't even showed them the evidence that I have showing that y'all guilty. Do you understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah, you cut a record on.
That's what it is right now. And I am not going to sit here and be part of the Breonna Taylor arguments, the Brawl arguments, and support. I'm not going to support something that I don't know if it's true or not. And I'm certainly not going to go in other rabbit holes of how we've been treated for all these years. And it's just, especially by people that can control how money is spread out in the city and the equity that's given to the people in the city. Y'all control all of that. The person that hired the police chief that they trying to put this shit on is a black woman. She hired that police chief. That's part of that's part of what you put out there. Yo, come on now. Y'all control the city budget. Y'all control everything. You control it all. So when you start talking about equity, who do you blame if the black people in the city are not getting proper equity in a city? Who do you blame? You blame the people that control it, right? And if you're the one that controls it, you got to blame yourself. You got to blame them. And they're not doing it. We got to go back to the Martin Luther. We got to go back to the We Shall Overcomes and all that. We got to remind people of the water hoses and all. That's to defocus. That's to take away. That's to take the focus away from what's really going on here. Everybody know what we went through. Everybody know what happened in this and this and that. If we had a bunch of white folks running the city, you might be able to get away with that. But you can't use that shit when you're in control of the city.
Exactly.
So I don't understand. Why am I even gonna be part of this shit, bro? I didn't seen this shit flip over 3 times in New Orleans. I've seen it flip over in Jersey. I've been in cities. This shit didn't happen a couple times, man, and it is what it is. Ain't nothing new about this type of position. That I've seen this shit a million times.
Did you see that documentary about it was the 16th was the 20th 25th anniversary of 20th, yeah.
Of what?
20th Hurricane Katrina, man.
Okay.
And he broke it down how people was, flexing on finessing the people.
Well, we all knew that was gonna happen.
What really went on after that.
We all knew what was gonna happen. It's no different.
Yeah.
Hurricane Katrina happened a few years after I left New Orleans. Okay.
Yeah.
My school, Carr Junior High, got hit by Katrina and is gone. Okay, it's not the same. The land was there, but they had to rebuild. It's not the same. Let me tell you something. I wasn't into politics or any of that type of stuff back then. I was a kid in school, and I'm gonna tell you, it used to be talk about how the city wasn't doing nothing for black folks, and if that hurt, they used to say if the levees ever break, if the dams ever break, that it's gonna wipe the black people out of New Orleans. Now New Orleans is probably 70% black. So I used to hear shit like, bruh, they are not taking care of us. They not taking, and the mayor was black. City man, everybody that controlled the money was black, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? Everybody was black. And it seems like they always had this excuse about they ain't letting us do this and they ain't done this and they ain't taking care of us, but the leadership be black. And how long you gonna be living on shit like that or making these excuses? I was a kid listening to shit like that. And guess what happened, bro? Guess what happened? When Katrina happened, everything that they said that was going to happen with the levees, the levees, all that water came down and wiped out all the black communities. And there was no money sitting there. All that money over all the time that they could have been putting in building bigger dams and bigger walls and stuff like that. They were never putting the money in the position that was going to benefit the black folks. And it was the black folks controlling the money. It's crazy to me. And then they always go back to the same thing. Well, the white folks don't give us nothing. Our money be different. They don't never support the black community. No, bro, stop that shit, okay? When you have people, look at what's going on in New Orleans right now. It's no different. It's no different than it was when I lived there. And it's because of the leadership. You can't keep blaming other people. Listen, man, I'm not on it. I don't really look. You got to go somewhere and experience it 2 or 3 different times to see that it's a normal thing. Okay.
I thought we'll flip the subject real quick. You know me, I flip it all the time. I thought CK said earlier Piccadilly. I thought that was a liquor store. I thought he meant to say Piggly Wiggly or something.
I don't know. I heard what he said. And I've heard of that place before. I've never been there, but I know what he's talking about.
Oh, I thought, because I know Piccadilly, the liquor store was in Champagne. I remember.
Well, that could be. He was talking about somewhere else, though.
Yeah, he was talking about in Georgia, but I was assuming that he mistakenly was try to say Piggly Wiggly.
No. He said it right. He said it right because he's talking about down in Georgia, and maybe Piggly Wiggly is somewhere in Illinois, like what you talking about.
No, Piggly Wiggly is down south, like Tennessee and Mississippi.
What's the one you talking about?
I know that for a fact.
What's the one you were talking about that's in
Piccadilly? Piccadilly is a liquor store. They got them everywhere, but they might got. He might be right because I want to say right there in Humboldt, Tennessee. I think they got one right there before you get to Jackson, Tennessee. He might be right though.
I'm
right
not
there
familiar.
On that corner. I think he might be right.
I'm not familiar with what the one that you're talking about, but I've heard of the place Piccadilly. I've heard of that before. I
think it's one. He'd probably be right. I think it's one in Humboldt, Tennessee.
Okay, I've never been there before. So, I don't know, but all I'm saying, I don't even remember why it even came up. To be honest with you, I mean, I don't even know.
He said he was a sandwich maker.
Okay, maybe he worked there. I don't know, but. Shit, I guess.
Hey, why you did the old dump to them, man? When you said, "Hey, I gotta go to the bathroom," you better black folk. We don't like that job. Hey, can I use the restroom?
Yeah,
washroom right quick. You know when you use the washroom, You know, hey, it's time to go. I don't like this job.
Yeah, you know what's crazy, bro, is when you think that you the smartest person in the, like, you might not think that you the smartest person in the world, but when you think that you thinking of something that nobody else has ever done, I'm gonna tell you, folks, I know we all do and say some different stuff, but we have so much in common. When you do something, you think that you're the only one thinking of it, and people done it before. They gonna do it. They might not even know what you do. Like, for instance, like when I was a kid and had that job, I was like, bro, I'm about to leave this place. I got to figure out, oh, yeah, I'm going to tell them I got to go to the bathroom. And I'm sure
don't be a tip service, though. You been one of the tip service, like, oh, this ain't for me. What a bathroom at?
Yeah, I got to go. And I didn't even know. I never heard of that. Never. There's a whole lot of things.
Yeah, why I work at that assembly line? Like, no, hey, you work for 30 minutes? Why? No, I ain't about to pack no box. I ain't about to work on those assembly, do this. Hey, what a bathroom at?
Bro.
As soon as you say that first break, why? You out of there.
Bro, I've done it. I've done it once like that in my life. Gave it 30 minutes, maybe 25 minutes of my time, and pieced their ass right up out. I knew the job wasn't for me. The other job I had a little bit more respect for because it was a professional place. When I was coming out of college, the first job, not my first real job, my first real job was different. But when I was going through college, all right, I worked at UPS, and it was to pack the trucks, all right? And I was like,
was it summertime?
Yeah, it was hot in them trucks, bro. It was to pack the 18-wheelers that's sitting out. So I worked.
You at that 57, 53 footer, and that sun beaming on you. Bro. You got to put that package on that conveyor belt.
Well, hold on. The thing, you know what I'm talking about. The belt, the boxes were coming to me off the belt, landing on the gray belt. Okay, I had the gray belt. It was Orlando. That's the gray belt. Was Orlando, Florida. And the boxes would come down. I would have to stack the box right there, and then take several.
You was unloading or packing?
I was loading.
I mean, oh no,
I had to take the box off the belt, walk into the 18-wheeler itself, and start stacking the boxes so they'll all fit into the 18-wheeler. And I'm like, every time I walk in that 125-degree trailer, I would walk back out and get into the warehouse, and it was 90 degrees in there, and it felt like paradise. It felt great. I'd have to stack these boxes up. I knew then and there, I'm not gonna be doing this. I'm gonna get one check, and I'm never coming back. I already knew I was never gonna do it because I was in school. I was in college, and I'm like, bro, I could be working at. There's a whole lot of other shit I could be doing for $8.50 an hour. That's how much it paid. And back then, that was a lot of money. UPS was an amazing job. It was a great
that's how much it was back then.
Yeah, it was a great paying job.
99 when I was there, I want to say. And that's the reason why I quit. Why? Because they get great benefits. I ain't going to hold you up. They had good benefit. But why that sun being on the east side of that building, and you take off, you turn around and take off your white beat and all that? Yeah, okay, because I had to unload and put on a conveyor belt. But when you and that other guy up in there, don't let him take a break. It's over. Because he ain't coming back for the next 20 minutes. You on there by yourself, slaving like a mother, throwing them box. Why this truck ain't unload? Hey, man, I don't know, dude. He went somewhere. I don't know where he at. But I'm doing me. But, it was a 4 or 5 hour job, though. But I was liking it, though, because, that's when, them J's was coming out wide and the freight was coming through there. Hey, once that freight come through there, man, hey, I got them new J's. They come out next week, but I got them today. Everybody used to hit the freight train, though. Why? I don't know if they did in the Natty, but,
I wasn't there long enough to be able to get involved in that, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but my last comment, this puppet show boxing, man. I don't know. Is this a farewell tour for Tank or something like that, or is it just a money move or something?
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's a great question.
Because I was thinking about when I seen it, I had to how people put it out there, social media, be fake news or something like that. But I kept seeing it over, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's real.
Yeah, no, it's on Netflix. Netflix has they've posted it and put a fight date on it.
Yeah, I thought it was people, counterfeiting this situation. But as I was seeing down people's timeline and, popping it up, I'm like, oh, this must be real. But do we gotta do Jake Paul? Because he's standing about 6 feet, right? 6'1", something like that.
I haven't went over
a good solid heavyweight, 250 or something, 215.
Yeah. I
Do
don't know.
We gotta go down weight or how do that work?
Yeah, I would think that he's definitely gonna be under 200. Okay, that's for sure. He's probably gonna have to be around
Would your
160.
boy go up?
Well,
Or he
yeah,
stay the same?
I think. Well, I don't think Javante can get much bigger than 150. You know what I'm saying? 150. I mean, probably can get up to about 154 at a regular. My thing is, to the question that you asked, do I think this is it for him? I don't think boxing is good for Tank. I mean, he's a great boxer and this and that. I don't think Tank likes the business of boxing. So unfortunately, and I'm gonna say this on the record, maybe somebody will date this. And I don't like that I'm gonna say this, but this is my feeling. I think that Tank is gonna cash out. I think he's gonna make as much money as he possibly can on this fight.
What's the purse on it?
They're saying somewhere between $20 and $30 million. And if he gets that money, if he gets that kind of money, if he gets $10 million, I don't think he'll ever fight again. I don't think because I don't think he likes the sport of boxing, because it used to be fun to him. But I'm telling you, as an amateur, the dudes would fight every day. Okay. They would fight every day just to be fun and stay in the gym.
So you like the best versus the best, don't you? Like you said earlier.
I do. And that's not what this is. But that all being said, I think that Tank is burned out on the business of boxing. And I think if he was to make $20 million, if he makes $10 million, $10 or $20 million, Tank won't fight again. He'll retire from the business of boxing.
I just want him to fight that, what's his name, Roach or whatever his name, that last one.
Yeah, Roach again.
Yeah, I think that was a good fight. They went pound for pound. That was a good fight. Even though Tank lost that fight. He lost that fight. That's your boy now. That's nephew to you. Yeah, but he lost that fight.
I don't know if he lost. I don't know if he lost.
Just like Pacquiao and Mayweather. When my people came, we had a big party and everything. Was that pay-per-view, $99, something like that, 10, 15 years ago? I would never. That's what I was glad when Fire Stick came out, because he pissed me off, man. Your boy, Mayweather, he got game. I like it. But he ran that whole fight, man. That was the most bogus fight I ever seen in my life, Wyatt.
Floyd Mayweather and Pac-Man?
Man, he kept, he versus Pac. I think it was Pacquiao. Mike Donald won up. I want to say Pacquiao. He kept running the whole time around like, man, when you go punch? And I didn't like it. It was pay-per-view. And I'm like, man, he on something else, man. I didn't like it. And I really stopped. I called him because I stopped watching after Mike Tyson lost at first to Douglas Buster, whatever. I stopped watching after that. I was like, man, the champ gone. Ain't no more for him. Then Mayweather came along, and Mayweather was doing his thing. I'm like, who is this little young punk?
I don't know if I can agree with what you did.
What you mean?
I thought that the Mayweather and Pacquiao fight was a good fight.
Whatever. How many times they fight? Twice?
Wait a minute. I believe that the Mayweather-Mandana fight was a good fight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, he was right. If you go back, man, he was either that first time or second time he was running. Mayweather kept running around the ring, man.
I've never.
Or whatever. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It was crazy. But my family came down here and we had a big party. I'm like, man, we paid for this nigga to keep running around the ring and all that.
And it was crazy. Seen Floyd Mayweather with track shoes.
Oh no, them your protege, your people and that thing. You go co-sign.
No,
because it's Wyatt. No. Yeah.
Me and Floyd, I'm not cool. I don't know Floyd like that. I wouldn't do that. I respect the sport of boxing, and I'm a grown ass man. I ain't about to just jump on.
Okay, when your boy and stuff go come out, man, you ever talk to him or give him advice or whatever? Or you just leave it alone. Adrian Bronner.
Oh, I don't.
The Cincinnati Finest, man.
I mean, he's in his mind. He's ready to commit to boxing again. These guys. Listen, man. A lot of people don't understand that sport. That sport is not a normal sport. I
understand a sport, but when you let your surroundings, who you surround yourself with, and you let the money get to you, and you go on Walmart and say, I don't need no change, and throw it up, or you burn money and everything, this is the results you get.
Sure.
You let your pride get in the way, and you think you bigger than Macho Man Randy Savage.
Sure, but
and you want somebody to have a lifeline to feel sorry. Now I pray for you, man, because it's who you surround yourself with. If you go out there clubbing all day and that's all y'all want to do, but not get real money and really establish yourself and all that, this is the results you get. And now you want to hand out, I'm sorry, that. No, man.
I gotta say something about
sometimes you gotta chop that tree down, man, to get to a switch.
I gotta say something about that because I've been around a lot of people in my life, celebrities and all that. Okay. You say something like, it's about the people you surround yourself with, as if the people are guilty of helping you be who you are. That's not always the case.
Ain't nobody go put no real nigga go put no one of them pump faking niggas go put no real advice, man. Slow down, man. That drinking you doing, fam. AB, come on, man. Slow down, man. You doing too much.
We can make
man. They worry about the hoes and drinking.
Twin, we can make it about AB if you want, but there's a lot of different people out here that this same information I'm about to pass on, it fits them as well. But I'm just
bring the
tell
newspaper. Let me hear about it.
I want you to know. AB has some really good people around him. And I'm talking about friends. Not all. They know it. Not all. But I know them. I call they nephew to me. I know for a fact that he had people that don't agree with some of the things that he's done, that don't agree with how he was moving, and they left him alone. Sometimes, Twin, a lot of people don't understand that those people select who's in their circles because they know that those people won't have anything to say. They're yes men. And it's not sometimes the circle fault what the man is doing. It's the man who chose his circle. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are chosen because you're not going to say anything. Are you having just as much fun as me? That's designed by the person who makes the circle. They don't always.
Man, you have a real nigga around you and who's loyal to you or whatever.
You know what
go
you
to
do
jail or somebody and you go get the results.
You know what
see
you do.
What nigga, how many go put somebody,
you know what you do.
Go put some on your books, man.
You know
them
what you do.
Real niggas.
You know what you do with your real nigga when you really want to act a certain way and you don't want to be told what to do? You get rid of them. Because some people don't want real people around them, Twin. They don't. I mean,
man, don't nobody want to listen because your ego is in the way. You don't want to listen to that. You having fun. This lifestyle I was living, selling dope and hoes around me, and I'm doing my thing. Man, I wasn't really happy about the situation. Man, I had to go home to my kids and all that. Worry about if I'm, hey, what's such doing and all that, and you knocking on my door and all. Man, come on, man, shop closed. But I had to answer the call. I was loving him though. But after a while, that shit get burnt out, Wyatt. Man, I was selling heroin and all that. Man, I didn't know about the game of heroin. I've been selling cocaine and crack and all that, but when that heroin came around and I was selling that, I didn't know the downplay of knocking on your window 3, 4 in the morning when you just got out work and shop closed after you made your little few $1,000. But I didn't know people had to get their sick on, man. You had to, bounce back.
I got you.
It was a damn diabetic shot to their ass. Hey, now I need my fix, man. I need to wake up. Man, go on, man. Man, come on, twin. I got your joy at now. Come, man. No, man, I ain't shot close, but I ain't realize. Hey, twin, you gotta feed him, man. You gotta feed him. But I didn't realize that and everything. But to each his own. I just hope and pray the brother bounce back off this. That money's something else, man. That money's something else, man. And I'm glad I'm out of it because, man, it was too much. Too much behind that dollar, man. I was chasing the heavy buck. It's consequence and repercussions behind that, man. It was lovely, why? I kid you not, it was lovely. Living that lifestyle like the best. But man, I wouldn't do it. If somebody put a pack in my hand today, no. F you, Charlie. I'm cool. Because I know what come behind that. I'm sorry to bring it out, but hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you got to that from the circle that this fighter has, but all I can tell you is
listen, I don't know.
Wait a minute,
surround yourself. Right. Who your surroundings, right?
I don't know what your circles were when you was in them streets, but I'm sure it wasn't nobody.
It was around. I mean, I had some people like, man, you got, but really not. It was more like my sisters and my old lady, man. They're like, okay, you keep playing. I know what you're doing. I want to listen because it was fast life. Yeah, it was fast money. You want these dollars, don't? And you want that bill paid. You want them J's or something like that. But I want to listen because I had to get to the money.
Twin, that's
And
not
then,
that's not your circle. Your circle is not your mom, your sisters, and shit like that. Those are people that love you and think different. Your circle are the ones that was out on the block with you. How many people
man,
on
I
the block?
don't understand all
I
that.
know,
Why?
but
Come on, you ain't gonna flip this pancake like that.
I'm
You
trying
know
to
what
make.
you talking about, Charlie?
I'm trying to
Come
make
on, Joe.
I'm trying to make a point, twin. That's all.
Go ahead.
You use the analogy of Adrian Broner and his circle, and somebody in his circle should have stopped him from being and doing all the things that he did. Now I want to
They
ask.
tried to stop him probably, why?
That's
But he
not what
wasn't
you
hearing that
said
because you know
before.
what? I'm living my best life.
Yeah, but that's not what you said before. You were angry that somebody in his circle should have stopped him. And what I'm going to ask you is, who was in your circle that was trying to stop you?
It was people. I wasn't listening to it.
No,
I
no, no,
hear
no,
people
no.
in there like, man, I've been there, done that.
Here's the
stuff
thing.
slow down.
So you don't think that his mom said something to him about doing something different? You don't think his kid's mother said something? Wait a minute, hold on. You don't think his brother, or you don't think like his, immediate family was trying to tell him to slow down on certain things? That's not his circle, though. His circle.
Why come it ain't?
That's not his circle.
Well, who is it then?
I thought you were talking about the people that he ran with that wouldn't stop him from doing what he was doing.
You have a circle, you have the enemy, and you have the angels on one side.
All right.
Which side you go pick? But your circle is who you surround yourself with. This my family here. I got my immediate family, I got my hood family.
Okay.
I can listen to both sides.
Well, that's not what people do who are in certain situations. Did you listen to both sides?
Y'all listen to both sides, but it was up to Twin to make his decision.
You listened to the side that benefited you the most and kept you doing what you was doing. That's the side you listened to, and that's the side that most of these guys listen to. Them bills
not gonna stop being. Bills keep rolling, man.
For whatever reason,
I'm living a lifestyle. I'm loving money right now. I'm loving the drinking and selling dope and all that.
For whatever reason, you allowed whatever circle to be your influence. I can tell you now, until it got gloom and doom, you didn't listen to the circle that made more sense. You listened to the circle that kept your bills paid, right?
Duh.
And that circle that kept your bills paid was not the right circle. Just like his circle wasn't the best circle.
I know it wasn't the right circle, but just like you loving that lifestyle of it. I love being around my nigga. Right. I love being drinking. I love doing this.
My bad.
But it's up to you to have a mindset to dump them off, man. Cut them off like an electricity bill.
All right.
Like a light or whatever.
Twin.
It's up to you.
Twin. Nothing but love. I gotta go.
Sometimes you have to bump your head, man. You gotta crawl before you walk, Wyatt. It's about game, man. You gotta crawl before you walk. It depends on the choices you make. Of the lifestyle of what you doing.
I'm about to hit my motherfucking head right now on this microphone. I gotta go, Twin. I gotta go. I promise you.
Man, I'm crashing out on you. When you coming on tomorrow, lucky I woke up late, man, and everything. You coming on tomorrow, fam?
Bro, do you listen to the show before you call, or do you just listen? Do you just call and that's the show? You only call and listen. You only part of Wyatt Live to call. You don't listen to the show or nothing, do you?
Wyatt, Kroger's been killing me for the last 2-3 days, man. I've been catching. Yesterday, I didn't know really, to be honest, that you was coming on.
All right, pause.
And so today, I woke up late and everything.
Pause. I will not be here tomorrow. Just to let you know, I'm going up to.
I'm about to crash out for 30 seconds. I'm about to cut you out.
Well, let me get it out
forget that. I'm about to cut you out.
Hold on. Let me just do this. I will not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's my daughter's white coat ceremony up in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm going up in the morning. We're flying up to Columbus, Ohio, do the white coat ceremony. I'll be in Columbus, Ohio, the weekend. I'll be back home Sunday evening. And I'll be ready for the cuss out from you on Monday at 1:00. How about that?
No, I'm not just messing with you. Well, it's all right, man.
I'll be ready.
No, you have a safe, travel, you and your family.
All right,
and much love to the Wyatt group and the haters that, that don't like Twitter, but I still love my end. And that everybody be safe, man. One love, Wyatt.
Thank you. Appreciate you engaging with us, brother. I appreciate it. Woo! Wow. Twin can be very challenging at times. I just was like, wait a minute. You know what? Like, this is going to sound kind of crazy, but I was confused. I thought you said I'll go all the way back to the situation, the brawl. I don't even know if I can go back that far. I got shit to do. I remember when he was talking about the brawl, and he said, I thought he was on one side and he ended up on another side on that. And then he said something about some other stuff. Then it got to AB and the circles, and he said Floyd ran in the fight. There's a lot going on in that conversation. Then he started talking about selling heroin and the lifestyle. Wow. I didn't get it. I couldn't catch up, twin. You got me today. All I'm saying is these guys, meaning celebrities, pick their circles. The circles don't pick them. I'm telling you for a fact that I know one of the names that was mentioned. I don't like talking about the young man because he's still, I'm nephew to me. There's certain guys that are just like nephew to me. And there were people around him that loved him. No doubt about it. I can call them right now. They loved him, still love him. Was trying to get certain things to change. I'm telling you, look, we hung out. I remember going down to a meeting. Things was real tough for this young man. For AB. He called me, said, "Where you at, Unc?" Said, I'm in I was in Cincinnati when he called me that time. And he was like, "What you doing? What you gonna be down, in Atlanta anytime?" I said, "Well, why?" He said, "I just need to talk to you." I said, "Okay, well, I'll be there. I mean, how long you gonna be there?" He said, "Well, I'm only here for the weekend," and it was like a Thursday or something. He was like, "I'm gonna be here. I just got here. I'm gonna be here for the weekend. I didn't know if you was here or not." I said, "No, but I can be there tomorrow." I said, "Is that serious?" He was like, "Yeah, I just want to talk to you about something." I got on a flight the next day and got to Atlanta on a Friday. We sat down and had dinner and chopped it up for a few minutes. But he had a group of people from St. Louis. I ain't know them dudes. And when we talked, I knew that I wasn't really getting through at that time. Because I don't like using this analogy, but it's almost like somebody going to an AA meeting with a bottle of alcohol in their hand, talking about what they've been going through and drinking at the same time. Like, are you really here to be fixed? Or are you here because you're supposed to be here? Do you really want the help? Or are you just here because somebody ordered you to be here, like a court or something? I don't know. But that's what I was getting. Like, bro, you called me to have this conversation and I'm here. I took my time. I flew down here to have a one-on-one with you. And I'm sitting here at a dinner table with cats I don't know. Not your original circle. I know little bros. I know nephews. I know them. I don't know these guys here. And I felt like it was a conversation that went nowhere, and it didn't. But I also know the cries for help, and I know when people really want you and need you. When Twin said something about his circle wouldn't slowing down, wouldn't stopping, I just disagree with that because I know some people that were really trying to make certain situations change. I was one of them. But I was nowhere near as close as some of the friends that he had that he grew up with that really love him and they still want to see him do good and do great. And they'll probably be right back with him and right there helping him do what he could do if he stuck to it and committed himself. But you can't help someone that's not ready for help. It's impossible. Okay? On that note, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I'm well past my time. I'll see you guys on Monday. I will not be here tomorrow. I will go live at the ceremony. White coat ceremony, medical school at my daughter's Ohio State school up at Ohio State. I'm anxious. I'm a proud dad. I'm nervous. I'm about to go lay my clothes out on the bed like it's the first day of school for me. She's at day three of school. And it's amazing. It's almost like we're starting all over. It's like she went to the kindergarten and I'm dropping her off at school. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them days. It's like brand new. This is a whole nother chapter in a life. I promise to keep everybody posted. I'll see you guys when I get to Ohio. Tomorrow I'll be at Ohio State and I'm going to go live. Ceremony is at 4:00. All right. Peace and love to everybody, man. Nothing but love on this end. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Oh, talk to you Monday at 1:00. Peace.
Tony Coles.
So how have you been, Big X?
Hey, see, I've been doing well, not great, but good. Can't complain, I got more than I should. Been a while since I thugged in the hood. I just hope that my folks understand I done hit every state, I'm just trying to get to it. Anyways, just they liking my music. I just did a show called By the Rule, had like 80-some thousand folks jamming and grooving.
So how are your kids?
I can't even lie. When I be away from them, I cry. Cause I love them the most. I would hate for them ever to say that they daddy wasn't right on their side. But for real, my little be fly. He been dressing himself while he tried. And my daughter so pretty, look just like her daddy. I be telling her go down.
And your family?
My people been straight. Trying to put foot on all of they plate. Been going hard. I guess now they seeing it. Cause before they thought I should switch lanes. Cause should I start buying ice and keeping them lights? Now they see that this is way bigger than likes. No more just.
I know that's right. Okay, what about your team?
Bigger than life, it's a movie damn near every night. We been popping these bottles to represent like we was just broke. I mean, they have $1 to split. We kicked those till we finally got right.
So you still smoking squares?
Ain't gonna lie, I've been stressing. Trying to give everybody a blessing. You don't know how I feel to have everything everyone wants when it can get hectic. But I swear I've been trying to quit. Make one more $500,000, I swear that they see. I done spent $7K on cologne, it's expensive as so I guess I can give up the steez.
So life's good.
No, I ain't saying that. But I never give none of this back. Yeah, I lost a whole lot on the way. But if I'm being honest, I'm good right here where I'm at.
All right, I think this was a good session. Gave us a lot to think about. Same time next week.
They can't believe that them niggas returned. We the one that the bitches prefer. In the club we party until we get sweaty. In the eyes I can see that lil' mama been ready. On my dick doing biz with Liz Claiborne. Politics, I been rich so I could pay for it. Dr. J in the bank, scoring title in the paint. Ray Kroc on my block, double cup my purple drink. They watching me close, even reading my lips. Busting the 4-5, then I'm pleading the 5th. And I'm leaving as if that's a meeting I missed. Such a wonderful time, even blew him a kiss. Timberland rich, 250 a beat. Used to see his new crib, even came with the street. Still be touching the white, talking that Bubba Sparks. It got a double R on it if it's one of us. Run along, boy, if you don't want a war. I got a prize, motherfucker, it's the Pulitzer. Whoop. Whoop. It's Pharaoh De Niro. They say that the flow is facetious. Fat boy, you keep feeling the bleachers. Went from selling yayo in the nosebleeds. Young niggas only got rich with the wrong things. I'm thankful for melodies that the song bring. Rhyming longer than prison sentences in New Orleans. My nigga did a dub, now he got the fed. Shit is hard to feel the love when you taking meds. Them Percocets, they heavy on the ledge. 20 million cash, yes, that's called success. 1,000 acres, my own metropolis. And he still hustle with dominance. Niggas faking, I could tell by the pics. Instagram should take down your page for all those counterfeits. Getting money is still booby gang. No colors, no flags, just let the toolie bang, bang.